Yo, you tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Welcome to Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk Radio. This is your host, Goose Thomas. In the building, I got my big bro, Mr. Bill Blockham Logan.
Yeah.
What's good, man?
What's good?
You all good on this Saturday, man?
I'm all good. No OT this weekend.
Oh, well, I mean, it's always good to get away a little bit.
Yeah.
You understand
Let me get
me?
these 3.
Yeah. Go and get out the
I
way.
see y'all Tuesday.
And to his right, we got my other big bros, Mr. Steven Singing, man. What's good with you, buddy?
Holla.
You on call?
What up? Yep.
Oh,
Second.
boy.
I'm on
Oh,
second
boy.
call. I'm on second call.
Boy.
I'm on second call.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's all
yeah,
good.
okay. Well, you ain't gonna get
It's
that
all
first one, so you
good.
good.
Yeah, I'm
You
good.
all right.
I'm good. I'm all right, man.
And to his right, we are honoring National Women's Month. But she don't have to, just because it's National Women's Month, that don't mean nothing. She come on anytime she get ready.
I appreciate
But when
you.
I asked her in honor of National Women's Month, it was an immediate yes from her. We got Miss Cassandra Cassano, a.k.a. the Sportsnista, in the building. What's good?
Can
Appreciate
we do
you.
one of these?
Oh my
Yes.
goodness, Sportsnista in the building.
Yeah, did. Yes, indeed, man.
Appreciate
Boxing and
you.
MMA
Thank you.
extraordinaire.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be talking a little bit of boxing and MMA.
Ain't nothing
on
else going on.
Yeah, well, because ain't nothing else going on. Like we watching UFC Fight Night right now with not a soul in the stands. But it's sports though.
It's sports.
It's sports.
Hey, Jonesing, get what you got.
Man, we got to take what we get.
Yeah.
We got Quan 5-9 on the boards, man. What's good with you, Brody?
Yo, corona free so
Corona
far.
free, baby. We
Far
corona
as
free
we
out here, man.
Listen, man, I feel like I'm drinking Lysol. I've been spraying that so much.
Yeah.
Look,
Good for you.
In my
Look,
lungs.
man, it's like this. Do what you were supposed to be doing in the first
In
place.
the first place.
Yeah, nastiest.
Why is you not taking baths?
Whole baths.
Whole
baths.
baths.
Wash
What
your
is
legs.
the problem,
Need to
man?
start washing my hands.
Wash
your
legs.
hands.
How are you not washing your hands,
And
people?
eat something green and leafy sometimes.
Sometimes.
Every now and then, keep your colon right.
Just every now and again, man.
Stop
Throw
taking
some
them.
spinach in
Oh,
there.
okay.
Stop,
Figs.
you gotta
Okay.
stop taking them whole baths.
They come from leaves.
Okay.
Oh.
I will tell you this,
Wow.
though. I was in the ladies' room
Yes.
last Wednesday, so when people knew stuff was going on, and I was doing what you do in the bathroom,
Yes, sir.
and I hear someone flush. The stall opens, and then I heard the door open.
Oh, boy.
I didn't hear
Oh,
no
boy.
shh
Oh, boy.
in between
Oh,
that.
We
It
see
is.
that. We see that in the men's bathroom all the time.
Contagion.
It's
Just walk right out.
nasty.
Contagion.
It is
Stop.
nasty.
Yeah.
And
Nasty.
I think
Nas
they
and tea.
use so what do you think? Is it acceptable if you have a sink in front of you and you can wash with soap, but you don't, and you use the hand sanitizer instead? Is that acceptable or are you still
No.
nasty?
I think you should
No.
wash your hands
No.
Yeah.
and then sanitize.
No.
Like wash your hands
Yeah.
thoroughly,
Yeah. I'm pretty
Then
certain.
sanitize.
then sanitize.
Just like it tells you why germs spread because there's a bunch of nasty people in the gene pool.
Sure enough.
We'd have been fine if homegirl had used some soap.
The pool is full of
Yeah.
pee.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm just telling you.
listen, senior. That's my
Ew.
motto. Is like, listen,
It is.
I'm just a girl trying not to get peed on in pool life.
It is.
That
It
is all. Quan
I
got
don't
some
even
Lysol,
swim, so
but
I'm
R.
good.
Kelly.
You try not to get R. Kelly?
Chlorine
R.
helps.
Kelly.
Not the Robert.
Chlorine helps. Chlorine does help, but still.
no.
If you hit a toilet flush, you should also hear the water running.
Chlorine
Yeah.
is not your excuse to piss in the pool.
Do
Senior.
not.
It's not.
No.
But we all been to city pool before.
you filthy
The toilet
McNasty.
doesn't even have to flush. If you walk in a bathroom, wash
Yeah.
your hands anyways.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Wash your hands, bro.
And if you're a dude, you might want to wash them before because
My God.
Full name, Filthy McNasty.
Filthy
Filthy
McNasty.
McNasty.
Yeah.
Johnson.
Junior the third.
Exactly.
2 years removed.
Oh my God.
Exactly. Junior the third. That's right.
Oh man.
That means it's a whole line of them.
It's
That
a
means it's a
whole
whole
line
line of
of
y'all.
Come
My
from a
granddaddy
throne.
was McNasty.
Unbelievable. Look, man, a few things, man, before we get into sports, man. Shout out to the lovely ladies, man, of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Yes.
In conjunction with 3 Square this morning, did a food pantry out at Johnston Middle School where they just gave away food. Like, show up,
Nice.
get food. That's it.
Free of charge.
Free of charge.
99.
And yeah, absolutely.
Free 99.
Free 99. I mean, whole chickens, potatoes,
Whole chickens.
fruit,
I saw that.
Wow.
cereal, just all type of stuff, man, in conjunction with 3 Square. And we will be out there, the men of Phi Beta Sigma will be out there the next second Saturday at Johnston Middle School helping out our sorority sisters, man.
Because call yourself
in
going to
conjunction
the
with that.
store.
Yeah. Come on now.
You ain't getting.
You ain't getting nothing.
The stove.
What
Right
cracked
now,
me
you
up in
ain't getting nothing.
What
Dope.
cracked me up in the video, they at the end of the video, you start hearing them talk about many ways to make chicken. They were talking about chicken,
Yeah.
adobo, baked
Yes.
chicken, barbecue. They
Yes.
start running it down.
Chicken
Absolutely.
tacos.
It's a whole pallet full of chicken.
Unbelievable stuff, man. So
I got a spot though. I do have a spot that's
Uh-oh.
well
She
stocked.
keeping it on. She keeping
Ain't
it on
telling
lock.
none of
She
y'all.
already said. I
Ain't
saw a
telling
post.
none of
Hey, I was
y'all.
gonna inbox you, but I was like, no, I don't want that
Heck,
embarrassment.
Nah, I got some little kids. They gonna like to eat hot food pretty soon. So
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. I just need to get some wipes because all the wipes out. We got plenty of TP. I need wipes right now. I need
got
wipes.
900 wipes that just came in.
Now, what if
I
you
was
go to
ready.
the store first thing in the morning? Can you find a stocked store?
It depends
My
on the
boy
store.
did it at 6 o'clock this morning at Walmart. He said he was in line, second place in line, and got about 5 cases of water.
Yeah.
And they still didn't have any.
They not on the 2-case limit?
They still didn't have no paper. No.
But it's coming, so it depends on the store and it depends on the time. Some of them, like Walmart, gets multiple shipments.
Yeah.
So you can go there a couple of times a day and probably get what you need. Now, I went to Whole Foods last night and they had 0 green vegetables
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
it's gone.
frozen.
Oh wow.
That's a wrap.
0 green.
Wow.
So, but she did tell me what time the shipment coming,
Yeah.
so you could do
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know at Walmart because when I did do the grocery shopping, I like to go 2-3 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's when they
I
doing
go
the
6.
restocking.
Yeah.
I know 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Soon as Smith's.
That's
I'm
when they
sleeping
doing the
both of y'all
restock.
times.
Yeah.
You in that rim?
I'm just ordering
Yikes.
Instacart, man. They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Yikes!
How's it go again?
Oh wow, brother.
Did you get that, Quan? Because I think
Wow,
you actually
brother.
mixed
Yeah,
it
that's
in.
gonna be.
Yeah,
That's
we could
definitely
make a beat
gonna
with
be.
that.
No grocery
Oh, no
shopping.
doubt about it.
Last
Wow.
time I was in Walmart at 2:30 in the morning, I was painting my upstairs and I was painting inside of my house, man.
No bueno.
I
huh?
never do it again.
Heck no.
Yikes. Also, shout out to the National Association of Black Journalists, man. I just got off a Zoom call with the chapter here in Vegas that's starting back up. Getting ready to do some real big things here in the city of Las Vegas, man. Shout out to Commissioner Lawrence Weekly, who was on that Zoom call. Got some good insight from him, being in radio as long as he has, being in the media as long as he has, and just being in the community eye.
Western
as long as he-
Warriors, class of 82.
Whatever, man.
Shout out to Miss Zinja Dunn. So many influential people, man. Devin Moore, tons of people.
Oh, Zenja was on that call?
Yeah, Zinja was on the call, man. Just unbelievable stuff, man. So look out for the
Red and blue,
National
splash of
Association of Black Journalists, man. NABJ here in Las Vegas, Nevada, man. So let's get into some sports, man, because there's plenty of talk to talk about.
Yeah.
In spite of the coronavirus that's seems to be going around. Rick
The
Pitino,
Rona.
that old Rona. Give me a line with mine, G.
And
I like grenadine, too.
Yes, the dash of grenadine.
I want it sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
when
a shot of something dark.
I
with it,
found out
chase
about
it.
that medicine ball
Yeah.
that at
At Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
So I've been
Good
rocking that for the past week.
What's
Okay.
that? What is that?
It's a
Lemon
green
is,
tea,
lemonade.
honey. And,
Steamed lemonade.
Okay.
and
It's
all
got
that.
some
Yeah.
mint in it.
For
you
$5.
know?
yeah.
I can dig that.
Yeah, I
For
got some.
$5.
Y'all hear about elderberry syrup? Using that and Manuka honey. Like, I mean, it doesn't taste all that great, but it ain't the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
But
Right,
Manuka
right.
honey is good. That's from the ancestors. You can rub that on a
Absolutely.
cut and be good
Really?
with it. Yeah, or you
Yeah.
could just take a spoon of it and it'll help your immunity.
So it don't
That's what I'm
sting
talking
like
about.
you know the old methylate.
No, not like that.
Well, we used to
Aloe.
cry.
Aloe. Rub that
We
aloe
used to-
on
That
there.
aloe is special.
Yeah,
Oh, that
aloe
aloe
is
is a real
But
thing.
Manuka honey, you
Manuka
have.
honey.
Yeah, you gotta
A
get it in your
spoonful, huh?
system for a little bit, but yeah, it'll help you out with.
And where
some-
you get it from?
You could get it at Trader Joe's.
Oh,
Trader
You could
Joe's.
get it at Whole Foods. I
Okay.
ordered it on Amazon because I don't like going to the store. So
Right.
Whole
that's
Foods.
what I do. Whole Foods.
Them
Whole
Whole
Foods.
Foods.
At the Whole Foods.
Yes, indeed, man.
Yeah.
Rick Pitino.
Mm.
While you were sleeping and worried about the coronavirus,
While you on
this
quarantine.
man done, while you on quarantine, this man done slipped his
Got
way
him
back
McGee.
into the national. Look, he done
him
slipped his
McGee.
way back into the National Collegiate Athletic
I wonder
Association.
how much
bro.
a contract is worth.
Ooh,
Let me look
he's
real
at
quick.
Iona.
Let's see if we can
Right,
get-
so he gets the job at Iona, which
It's
I
a
mean,
stepping stone.
if you follow college hoops, Iona has had a really good program. I mean, didn't they make an Elite Eight
Yes.
like here within like the
Sure did.
past decade?
Yep.
They made an Elite
Sure
Eight. I
did.
Yeah.
don't think it was a Final Four. I think they were in the Elite Eight though. I could be wrong on
no,
that.
I think it was a
not
Sweet
Final Four.
16.
No, it was in the Sweet
I
16.
think it was Sweet 16
They,
run.
they were
And
playing
came
in,
close
they
and-
played in a regional finals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
So for Rick
Ricky
Pitino,
P.
I think that's a really good thing. You know,
Yep.
that's Dre's boy.
It's
Rick
a stepping
Pitino is
stone,
Dre's
man.
guy. Shout out to Dre Bailey, man. Hopefully he'll be calling in a little bit later on in the show, but that's his guy. But having Rick Pitino, I'm gonna ask you all a question. How is having Rick Pitino back in college basketball? How does that, I don't want to say form the landscape, but improve the landscape of college basketball? Because it seemed like it
Great
was
question.
like a really long time
Yeah.
since he coached a collegiate basketball game. How does him being back in the landscape of college basketball help said landscape? Phil?
It brings back a little more credibility to coaching. Like you said, like we all said, he's a great recruiter. So,
Right.
you know, Iona, I mean, and nowadays you really don't have to go to these major colleges to get
Yep.
guys
Right.
to come to your school. Hopefully he can do it the right way. Get guys to come there and
Right.
you know, the right way. Don't have all the little stuff he had going on at Louisville.
Right.
And,
well, I mean, let's
I mean,
not count
you
that
know.
out. But hopefully he learned from that
Yeah,
situation.
hopefully
That's
he's
what
learned
we'll
from
say
that.
on that. Yeah.
And, you know, he can build a nice program there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Steve?
He can coach. He can recruit. And he is going to, you know, mid-majors have always been at the gate
Sure.
in the NCAA tournament in the past decade.
Sure.
They've always been at the gate. A couple have even made the Final Four, but
A couple of them twice.
a couple of them twice. But that week delay, and then the Final Four on that Saturday,
Yeah.
they always showed you can almost say they didn't belong there because it's the NCAA tournament. The tournament's all about who's playing better at the time because the best team don't always win.
Absolutely.
But he is going to now, with Iona, be the front runner with the trumpets at the mid-majors, knocking down the gate and getting a regular bid
Sure.
and regular showing to the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely.
I give him 2 years and have Iona making noise, making major noise.
Sure.
Making major noise. And
Absolutely.
then that's just going to open the gates.
I agree.
Yeah, they
That's
are.
what's
So
next.
Iona is. I mean, you got Mark Few out there talking about mid majors, who's really
Yeah.
taken Gonzaga to
Consistently makes
in
regional
contention
finals.
for a championship. They play in what, the MAC or
They're in the
MEAC?
West Coast
West Coast
Conference.
Conference.
They're in the Mid Atlantic
Yeah.
Coast. No, I'm talking about Iona, the
Yeah,
Gales.
yeah.
I want to
The
say
Gales.
they in the MAAC.
Yeah.
I think they're in the MAAC.
So,
You got to
they-
drag that A a little bit.
so, but here's the thing with Rick
Similar to
Pitino.
Cody.
People remember him from Kentucky, you remember him from Louisville, but he also coached at BU and he also coached at Providence.
Yes.
So he understands how to recruit at a smaller school. Here's something interesting. Iona, you know where they're located? New Rochelle, New York. Does that ring a bell? It is ground
Rochelle.
zero of the Rona right now
Yes.
on the
Oh.
East Coast. So
Rochelle.
it is the highest concentrated population of the coronavirus in the country at the moment, or COVID-19. So really interesting to see kind of how that's going to impact. His recruiting is going to be different than anyone else when they allow them to start recruiting again. And the greatest deodorant of something funky is winning. When Rick Pitino start winning again, most people gonna forget about that $100K that was slid under the table and the business that he conducted on top of the table with that woman that wasn't his wife.
Literally.
So
Top of the table.
once he starts winning again, I think that they'll be fine. But I agree. Once he gets his team in there, his guys in there, they're gonna start collecting some.
Then he
dubs.
won't be afraid to schedule games against bigger
Right.
schools either.
Absolutely.
He's not
He's
scared
Oh,
never
of that.
gonna
heck
be able
no.
to. Absolutely not.
Right.
He's never gonna be scared of doing that.
Yeah.
And I think
Ever.
he may be able to do what Mark Few hasn't been able to do, is win.
Win,
Exactly.
actually win a title.
Maybe win
Wow.
one. I think he'll win.
You know
one.
what?
He's a Naismith, Hall of Fame coach.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
That's
and then that's not by
Yes,
that's
he
not by
is.
mistake.
Yes, he
Absolutely
You
not.
earned it.
He earned it. No question about it. I look at it like this, and I want to make reference to the coronavirus, since we're going to be making reference to it for the entire show. I believe this year was the year for a mid-major. I honestly believe that.
It's a lot of parity. Yeah.
San Diego State had just as good a chance as anybody to win the national title this year, as well as Gonzaga. Just as good a chance as anybody. So I feel that these kids that are getting slighted, I feel so bad for these kids, man. Now, the NCAA came back and said that they will grant seniors an extra year,
I think that's awesome.
which look,
It's the best you can
kudos.
do.
That's the best you can do.
I disagree with that.
It's the best you can do for that particular organization, since you've taken so much from them. But, I mean,
Man.
let's be honest.
Yeah.
The NCAA has taken so much away from these kids, and this is the biggest. Look, the NCAA is a nonprofit organization,
$1 billion one.
and they are $1 billion conglomerate, though. How are you, the NCAA, a nonprofit org, but you're $1 billion conglomerate?
The NFL's a nonprofit.
That's why I said
The NFL's a
this is
nonprofit.
not going to last that long.
Come on,
Because it's too much money
it's
being
too
lost.
much riding on
Yeah, watch
this.
y'all chickens.
Gotta watch y'all chickens. Take care of your
Like
chickens.
Rick
Yeah.
Ross say, how you touch $500 million and your whole team starving?
How you going to do that? What is that? What's the great philosopher Rod Tidwell from Jerry Maguire said? You shoplifted the pootie. Like they
Off a
out
single
there
mom.
shoplifting.
Shoplifted
Yes.
off a single
Off a
mom.
single
That's what you
mom.
did.
Give it back.
So while we look at the taking of the money
is
being
fantastic.
immoral and unethical, can you blame the kids?
No, you can't.
No. Heck no.
Absolutely.
And I'll be the
not.
first one to say
Just be
it. No, you
honest here.
can't.
Money do them.
100,000 is nothing
Nothing.
in comparison to what's being taken away from these kids on a day-to-day basis.
People out here
Nothing.
looking for toilet paper. That 100,000 is
on.
like TP for
Right now, come
for the
on.
NCAA. They wipe their tails with that money.
Unbelievable.
Not to mention the money that the university is making off of these kids.
Well, it's amazing. The networks, CBS and True TV, all of the networks haven't spoken up about the NC2A doing this because it's an $8 billion
Yeah,
contract.
they're standing
you
down.
know?
Yeah.
It's an $8 billion
Yeah.
contract, even though it's just for the March. It's basically just for March Madness.
Essentially.
You know, yeah. They
Wow.
have to show regular season games just to get you
Yeah. Right.
tuned in or tuned up for March Madness. But it's kind of shocking that they haven't spoken up to the NC2A. So
they got to
I'm with
stand
Bill
down. Yeah.
that something else must be in the works. You know, I don't see why they can't play in May. Once it starts to warm up, this is all gonna get better.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But,
So you said you didn't agree necessarily
well,
with
with granting the seniors an extra
yes.
year
I want to hear that explanation.
because they played the whole season. They've already played. All they missing is the tournament. Okay. And again, if you was that good, you wouldn't have made it to your senior season in the first place. But it is what it is. Let them go ahead. But now you got people who were trying to get medical red shirts last year who could not and were denied.
Right.
Didn't get to play none of their senior season, and these cats played the whole senior season and just missed the tournament, and they get another year for nothing. Who is it? Who is it going to be on, the school or the institute to pay for it? Is it going to be on the player to pay for it? Do they have to pay their own way now?
It should be on the school.
It'll be on the school.
They got enough.
It shouldn't be on the school.
They got
Why
enough
not?
money.
It will be on. The
You
school.
shouldn't be on
it
the
will
school
be.
because you played your whole season.
I agree. While I agree with that, these are the same players that
But they still got school to go to.
Yeah,
so
they
they
still
have.
got
They
school.
haven't.
Gotta
A lot of them
finish
haven't
school.
completed school.
But outside of that, though,
a good
Bill,
point.
these are the same players that put butts in seats and get money for your school. That's the
Again.
least
That's
you
the
can do
least
for
you can
them.
do.
Again, as a senior, if you was that good, you wouldn't have been there.
But a lot of them wanna finish school. A lot of them
them
wanna
are
graduate.
late developers too.
I
bro.
take
and a lot of them late developers.
I take becoming a millionaire over getting my
Well,
degree.
most of them are not going to become a millionaire.
As a sophomore, if
you
I can
know.
get my bread, I'm going for the bag.
Yeah, and that's I'm fine with that. But like Cassandra said, a lot of those dudes aren't that type of guy.
I think it's Pandora's box. Once they get
But-
it finished, it's gonna be Pandora's box with the men and women who couldn't get medical red shirts for a senior year, for a fifth senior year, and then they come back and say, well, okay, these cats that just missed the last month of the season, you basically just missed March. You played everything but in March, and they get another whole season to play just because they missed 1 month. They get another season to play basketball.
It's a big month, Steve.
Yeah,
a
this is the
huge
month
month.
where they
Some
make
of-
the most of their money.
Yeah,
That's a
some
huge
of them.
month.
Some of
I
them
don't-
have
I
a
don't
great.
agree with
Some of
it.
these seniors that'll play, they'll have a great tournament. Then that could propel them to get drafted.
Isaiah
NBA
Thomas.
Combine is for that.
Yeah, but I,
NBA Combine is for that. NBA Draft Camp is for
Running
that.
94 feet ain't gonna tell me how much you can hoop.
it'll
It
tell
really-
you
Draft
in a-
camps.
in-
That's why they have 10 to 15 draft camps in
Well, that-
between after the
That the tournament
March
will get
Madness
these
ends.
some of these dudes invited to the combine.
Yeah, a lot of them ain't even
listen,
invited
yeah.
right now.
If you wasn't gonna get invited before March,
Not
you're
true.
not
No,
getting
Not true,
invited.
brother.
no,
Not true.
no.
Come on,
No,
man.
look
How
at,
you
look at
perform.
Isaiah
Okay,
Thomas.
where's
That's
Toby
a guy
Bailey?
who
Yeah.
totally
Where's
balled
Toby
out
Bailey?
in a conference tournament, and he literally his draft stock
Yeah.
became
There you
stock
go.
because
There you
of
go.
what he did.
Where's
in that
Toby Bailey?
tournament. Yeah,
Remember
but
Toby Bailey?
there's always guys who are
You're
going to be a
talking one
bust.
out
Toby,
of-
Toby
He
Bailey had a big name all
he-
through his college career.
He
That-
Stop
did.
it! Stop
He
it!
did.
Toby
What are
Bailey.
you talking about?
Toby
Stop it.
Bailey
Balled
had.
out.
Toby
What are you
Bailey
talking about?
had.
Stop it. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Stop
Stop
it! Stop it! Toby Bailey had March. That's
But
all he had. To, he
Everyone
had
knew
to
his name
fight
at
for.
UCLA.
Everybody
UCLA
knew
was
Toby
hot
Bailey
back then.
was, though,
Stop
Steve.
it.
UCLA
Everybody
was
knew who
hot
Toby
back then.
Bailey
Pull up
was.
Played
Toby
in the
Bailey's
Pac-10.
numbers for that season.
It doesn't matter. His numbers.
Everybody
Everyone knew who he was.
The
Stop it.
NBA
Where's
knew
the
who Toby
senior?
Bailey
Okay,
was.
where's he at now? Pull the car forward.
But we're not talking about players like
We're
that.
talking about
We're not even
his
talking about
forward.
players like that.
Tie us this way.
How old is Toby
stay out
Bailey
this
right
way.
now?
You're not even on the
though?
right topic. You're not even on the right topic. You're talking about something totally different.
Put
We're not
the car
talking
in
about players
neutral.
like that.
Put the car in neutral.
Not even
Where
talking
he
about
at
players
now?
like
Stop
that.
it.
We're not even talking about
Stop
players
it.
like that.
Stop
Steve,
it.
come on.
Stay on topic.
Let's
Come
look
on.
up
Stop it,
Toby
man.
Bailey.
Yeah,
What?
look,
That had nothing to do
where
with
is
anything.
Bring up-
Toby
come
Bailey?
on,
Toby
now.
Bailey.
But that dude's name had nothing to do with the topic you guys are talking about.
If you can get down before March, you will be invited. If you getting down from November to February, you are getting invited.
There's a lot of people at smaller
If-
schools that aren't being
Right.
seen.
No,
You
no,
can't-
Stop
Yeah,
it.
bro.
It's not like football.
It's
Football
not.
is like that.
You don't
Basketball
watch
ain't
co-
like that.
you haven't watched
Because
college
they
basketball. I'm
already-
arguing with somebody that doesn't
I
watch
played
college basketball.
basketball.
That doesn't mean you watch it.
Whatever,
That does
man.
not mean you watch it.
Whatever.
That does not mean you watch it.
He was he was a sports agent, sir. So he didn't do bad. He didn't do bad for himself.
He's eating hot food.
Yeah,
under
he
the-
not
what
talking
I'm-
about
under
what
Parker
I'm-
over
what
here.
I'm telling
Park
y'all-
over here. Put it in neutral.
What
He
I'm
ain't
telling
doing that.
y'all- what I'm
He ain't
telling
doing
y'all-
that.
what
Yeah,
I'm
he
telling
ain't
y'all-
doing that.
What I'm saying is the
Oh,
dude
my
got
God.
hard in the dude got hot in March. Where's Miles Simon?
Well, I mean,
Remember Miles
yeah.
Simon?
An assistant coach.
I believe
Miles Simon is doing
Miles-
play-by-play
Miles,
too.
Miles had the greatest college run of any basketball player to me in the tournament.
Ever?
Hands down, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
Oh my
Arizona,
God. He doesn't watch
Arizona,
basketball. Never
dude,
mind.
Thomas
No.
Edney
Dude.
had a very similar
they
type
didn't
of
win.
run.
They didn't win.
But it's
Miles
not about
Simon-
turning
Yeah.
into a Michael Jordan.
No.
As long as you get your opportunity,
No,
you got your
I'm talking
opportunity,
about-
then you go from there.
I'm talking about March.
We can name a bunch of those though, Steve. Trajan Langdon was
Miles
the same
Simon.
way.
They didn't win the
The
title.
Alaskan
Alaskan
assassin.
They didn't win
Assassin.
a
The
title.
same
Miles Simon won a title with his run. He was the sole reason. His point guard was Mike Bibby, and that squad wasn't all that. They just played better. They just started playing together at the right time. Miles Simon, to me, had the greatest NCAA run in tournament history.
Maybe
The
maybe
dude
when he
could
got
not be
maybe when
stopped.
he got to the show, he just didn't put his
But
put his
Senior,
best
can
foot
both
forward.
of
That's
those
not,
things be true?
We can't put that on the rest of the people though.
No.
we can't do that.
It's
It's
a smaller
JJ Redick
pool.
had a great November through
He's still
February.
Hey, that's a bad
And-
boy.
and was-
he
and
just
was-
made $18
That's a
million
bad boy.
But
last year.
I'm just talking about
And $20
November
million the year
through
before.
March. That's all I'm talking about.
There's a bad boy right there,
That's
though,
what I'm
JJ
talking
Redick.
He's a
But can
star.
both these
JJ
things-
Redick did his thing from November to February. He had a trashy
At
March.
Duke.
No.
They
didn't win one.
It
They
don't
didn't win
matter.
one.
We're talking about him as an individual. His college career
But what
was
I'm
decent,
saying is,
though.
if you gonna get down, and they gonna see you, they gonna see you from November through February.
At Duke,
most
yes.
scouts,
At Duke, yes.
Most scouts-
Not at
That's
Weber
Duke.
State.
Exactly.
Not at Wofford.
most
Exactly.
NBA scouts don't need you to get down in March before they see what they like
But
and what
it
they like.
can be a
I'm just all I'm
determining
saying.
factor.
Absolutely, it could be a huge
You just,
determining factor.
all the tournament is it's somebody in the team getting hot. That's what the tournament is.
We know what the tournament's
yeah.
about.
From
But we're
November-
talking about an
from
individual
November-
player
from
who-
November through February.
who
it's
has another
good
chance.
teams.
Who has another chance to put some more stock on his name as a basketball player.
Everybody don't play in the ACC. Everybody don't play in the SEC,
find
the
talent,
Big Ten,
bro.
the Big 12. Exactly.
They
And this
find
is
talent.
this
So
is
that
the
proves
time
your
for them
point
to
right
see
there.
it.
You don't have to blow up in March to get invited. Is what I'm saying.
All right.
That's
But
what
you
we
got-
I got an
yeah.
example for you of somebody that blew up in March.
Yeah.
Steph Curry.
No, not even Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, though.
But I'm
But
not
Steph
going to even
Curry.
go there.
Steph
How about-
Curry
how
got
about
down
Chris
the whole
Kaman?
season.
How about Chris Kaman that went to Central Michigan?
Yeah.
Blew up in
Steph-
March, bro.
Steph came in-
Nobody knew about him at Central Michigan,
I
bro.
guarantee they knew about
No,
him.
they didn't,
Scouts
bro.
did.
I know
Talent
somebody that
scouts.
went to school with him. That was
Yeah.
there when he was there.
Hey, we
Nobody
got a
knew
call.
about him, bro.
We got
Who
a
this?
call.
Who is this?
What's going on, man? You on live with Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk, man.
Got some
State your
Gelting
name and
news.
where you're from, please.
What's going on, Goose? It's Mondo.
What's up with you, Mondo? We arguing
Mondo,
right now. It's an
Mondo.
argument.
No, we
Yeah,
used
yeah,
to
yeah. I
make
hear
people.
that. I guess I'm gonna need Mr. Senor to take several seats.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
I
really,
got a
really,
seat
really,
right
we
now.
need to really step. Yeah, several. No, well, you need to take a couple more, my brother, because first and foremost, we're not talking about one flash in the pan here. So we could always go down the pan and talk about anomalies, but I think overall, we really need to talk about. We really need to talk about what is. I'm hearing music. I don't know what that is.
No, it's just
Hey,
it's just our background.
Hey, just keep talking, Mondo.
Yeah. He didn't. He
Oh,
forgot to
okay.
turn his volume down.
It was down this show.
Yeah.
How long you been doing this show?
Quan, are you sure you Quan, are you sure you corona free, my brother?
Uh-oh.
Hey, man.
What
The
Quan
ghost-
got
State
to
your
do with
business,
it?
Mondo.
What Quan got to
The
do with
ghost of
All
Yeah,
right.
you bringing
Hey.
the rich homie.
Go
Hey,
ahead,
listen.
Mondo. Go ahead, bro.
No, but seriously, I think seriously what we should look at is the fact that it is a business, right?
Right.
Because we're going to talk about. I think Goose made a good point earlier. So we should get an entire senior year, an extra year. Heck, no. I think what we should do is people are really the pandemonium around this thing is really overkill. And okay, so we go to the end of March. I think maybe next month we should evaluate where we are and have this tournament in April. We need to allow these guys
May,
to play
yeah.
and fulfill this out. I think whether it's in April, whether it's in March, I don't think it's going to matter. People will still come out whether it's not March Madness. It'll be in April, Awesome April, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But we need to have this fulfilled.
Absolutely.
It'll be a moneymaker in April, just like it is in
Regardless.
March. I think it makes no difference.
Totally
But
agree.
why do you guys
But to
think
give them
that,
an extra year is crazy.
why do you guys think that the NBA and NHL suspended play and NCAA just jumped out and said we're canceling everything? I
Right.
think there's a reason behind that from the NCAA,
Right.
Because they don't care about those players.
Right,
It's
and
gonna
it's
cut and run,
been
yeah.
but it's been shown over decades.
Ever.
Like this
Forever, yeah.
this is not new
Yeah.
that the NCAA doesn't care about its entity, the people that actually make them the money. This is no secret.
They don't know. They don't show. They don't.
There it is. Right there.
And they wouldn't want to have to put in the work of finding those venues again because
Sure.
it's going to be hard finding all those
Might
venues
not
that they
be.
have in April or May.
Right.
And
They're already
they don't
booked.
have to put in that work for
Yeah.
what?
Be a little
For
tough.
these guys?
Right.
But
right.
check this out. Check this out too. The CDC, there's still a lot going behind this. Okay, we know it's kind of like when a lot of these things, these pandemics or viruses come out, there's very little known. We still need to get all the facts. And I think earlier Cassandra was talking about things you could do to boost your immune system, and she was talking about elderberry, right? So elderberry, zinc, propolis. These are things that are also, when your body is fighting a thing like a virus, it's not going to be Robitussin and Tylenol or Tamiflu or antivirals. Your body is actually fighting it in itself, so you need to help encourage it to increase its blood cell count, strengthen your immune system.
Right.
So what we really need to do is talk about going back, because I think she brought up Melaleuca, what was it, honey, or what she was talking about
Manuka
earlier.
honey.
But she's exactly right.
Yep.
She's exactly right.
Yep.
And so there's a lot of pandemonium regarding this. Is nonsense.
And you can't start.
Extreme
You can't
pandemonium.
start with those things as soon as you get sick.
Right.
You need to do that
That
stuff.
stuff
That needs to
you're
become
supposed to
a
be
daily
doing.
routine.
Health
That
and
is-
wellness
yeah.
would be like a good
Yeah.
topic to have. It's like, okay,
Sure.
how do we prevent things? Prevention is the first line of defense.
Absolutely, man.
Sure enough.
I had some girl tell
Absolutely.
me. I had some girl tell me one time that the change in weather. Now this October, the weather is still like 90.
Yeah, it's still decent outside.
She said the weather, the change in weather makes me get a cold.
no, it
I
doesn't.
said no. I said no. I said what's your diet consist of?
Mm.
She do you cook? Do you eat any salads? Oh no, I don't like that.
Wow. Well,
Okay, well you're
also-
your eating is trashy.
yeah.
What do you drink? She drink a lot of
Let me throw out
alcohol.
one more
You don't
thing
drink
for y'all,
water.
Don't
You don't
drink
drink
water
any
at all?
water at
It's
all.
water and tequila.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's that.
And the ice.
I said so.
Hand
Your,
sanitizer.
I said your immune system is trash. That's why you get colds.
Yeah. That's why you get sick.
All of this hand sanitizer that we're using out there too, people are washing their antibacterials. Some of that stuff is not always great, and because that you're seeing a lot of children that are getting like things like measles that when we were growing up we did not get.
Nope.
Not to mention people are talking about vaccinations cause autism. Let me just say this to folks too: there is more evidence of vaccines not causing autism than there is about studies showing global warming. Not that I don't believe, I do absolutely believe in climate change, but this nonsense about not getting vaccinated, it's nonsense. Folks, you must take care of your body.
Yeah.
And I'm going to digress so everybody gets some other people can talk.
Mondo, are you a doctor or something? Like, or you just you well researched?
Mondo's he's a well-researched
Well
dude,
researched.
man.
I do want to talk about, though, you said the woman whose diet was trash. So seasonally, you do see certain viruses able to survive. That's why there's a flu season, right? So she might get sick during regular flu season, but she's not helping herself at all by her vegetable being like a straw.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you gotta get
No,
some
potatoes, French fries from the
potatoes.
fast food
Yeah,
place,
I mean, come on now.
not home cut ones.
Get you some asparagus and quit
Get-
playing.
Quit playing.
Eat your spinach salad
Weirdo.
every now and then.
Quit being
My
weird.
Gosh, stop being
Being
weird.
a weirdo.
Stop it. Man, Mondo, man, that's huge right there, Mo. We appreciate you, man. Big time, doggy.
Hey, y'all be blessed. Have a great rest of your
All right,
weekend.
man.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
sure.
I wanted
Yes,
to ask
indeed.
you
Bye-bye,
real
everybody.
quick
From
Pam,
Gainesville,
about like the trickle down effect, because I concentrate on the business side,
Mm.
and it's not just the tournament that's being the men's basketball.
Sure.
A lot of times, this tournament is bringing in money for other programs
Man.
at the university, not
Yes.
just sports. There's medical studies that are
Yes.
being impacted at these universities. There are other types of like studies that are being impacted. Might be like a whole new building that's being impacted because it's being slowed down by the fact that you didn't get that $1.2 million that you're going to get from the tournament. And so it's bigger than just how would have your athletic team performed or who would have gotten to the next level. There, we will see sometime next year how those dollars actually made sense at some of these universities. And then, like, I think about the folks, the Lyft drivers,
Man.
you know, around these arenas, or any other
tough,
kind
man.
of vendor. You know, might be a single mom who was like slanging peanuts
Depending on
up
that.
in there, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, for real, like you are depending on that
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
to as part of your bottom line. And so I think that the financial fallout is going to be infinitely
No doubt.
greater than actually the fallout from the actual
No doubt about it.
sickness.
And I think we.
That's why I
we
say it's
touched
not
on
gonna
that.
Watch
last
y'all's
that
Yeah,
long.
that's why I was
chickens.
going to watch your chickens.
Well, because if they
Yeah.
wait too long, you got a graduating senior playing in the tournament, right?
Well, you could, but I think these
Right?
are extraordinary times.
Right?
We can't
I
like.
mean, what you mean?
You got
We gonna pick up
they're
that mantle
granting
again.
they're granting a senior
Yeah.
another season to play.
because he earned
But
it.
they have an eligibility as far as sports,
Yeah.
so they still have to fulfill that.
So they
fulfill that.
they graduated college.
There's
and
players
still,
that are graduated that are
Yeah,
still playing.
but
And
wait,
still
wait,
playing.
wait,
Yeah.
wait.
But-
Some of these schools have closed down.
Yeah,
They're
shut
not.
down.
They
No, it's
might
still
not
online.
be taking
They're online.
classes.
They can
It's
go
online.
online.
It's
Yeah,
all
but
online.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Some of them. Not all of them have figured that out yet. So classes have been disrupted, and they're not going to have an actual, like, while we're social distancing, they might not have a real graduation.
That's crazy.
I think they're
That's
trying
insane,
to figure
man.
out how to do it.
Man, we got another caller, man. Caller, you on live with LTBB crew, man. State your name and where you're from, please.
This your guy, Dre Bailey from North Las Vegas.
What's happening with it, homie?
What's happening?
Dre Day.
What it is, man.
What's up with it, man? I think I think Cassandra has a really great point as far as the fallout with everything that's going on, man. I think it's really tragic that we have a lot of players like Kevin Love and Zion Williamson and other players who have followed who are donating, not a lot of their salaries, but $100,000 from anybody. I don't care how
People you don't know.
Right, to people that you don't know, that are affected by some of the things that are or some of the hysteria that is going on in this country, man, and not a lot of the owners are really stepping up. Besides, like Mark Cuban, who made it, really public that he was going to make sure that people were taken care of, man. And I think during this time, man, is where you see the true spirit of a person. You see the true person that a person really is, and you see their heart, man. And I don't think we should be waiting to times like this to do things like this. It should be things in place already for in case things like this happen in the world where people can really be truly taken care of, and that's how you really show people that you really care and you really care about what they do, and what they do is valued.
I think too, a lot of people keep it silent.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't going to publicize
Yeah.
what they're doing for other people. They're just going to do it,
Right.
and so be it. you know?
And I think a lot of the times, though, when people that are public figures and people that are of stature do things, it gets publicized anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it just does. You know what I'm saying?
So, and a lot of them probably get, they get asked, do you want to make this public?
Right.
Probably
That
not.
happens too.
No.
Yeah, you could.
But I think some of them make it
public.
public so other people will follow along.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
So I think it's smart for some of them to do it.
And this fresh off the wire, man. Combat sports suspended in the state of Nevada. Nevada State Athletic Commission.
UFC.
No more.
Let me say something about the UFC and that Apex building. We've been in it plenty of times. It's set up. Dana White and his folks, they built the Apex building so that they could produce combat sports and other types of things.
Sure.
But here's the thing, Dana. You wasn't testing them fighters. The reason why boxing was canceled so quickly is because Bob Arum was going to have it, but no audience. But as soon as he found out they could not get the test to the fighters, he was like, it's a wrap. Because it's not so much the social distancing. You know how much liquids come out of orifices of your body when you're fighting. They don't clean the cages in between. They don't clean the ring in between. They don't wipe down nothing. You think Rudy Gobert was like patient zero? Think about how much. I mean, there's snot. First of all, athletes is nasty. You all know.
Yeah.
I guess a snot rocket in every freaking seat in every
doubt
locker
about it.
room, right?
No doubt about it.
But they couldn't get the test to the fighters. Dana said, I don't care. Bob Arum said, I care and we can't do this. And I bet you the state of Nevada stepped in because of the fact, not because they were really trying to look out for spectators and employees, they couldn't get the test. And that's something like the everyday citizen need to be concerned with. Like,
Utah Jazz got 58 tests.
how they get them tests so quick, right?
Fast too.
You know what?
I know a doctor that tried to get a test and they wouldn't give it to him.
Couldn't get it.
Told them they couldn't give it to him.
Couldn't get it. I was at the pediatrician yesterday, and I asked the doctor. I was like, do you guys have tests? They got to send you to the hospital. You got to go
Because
to
if
the
you get
hospital.
tested positive, they're going to
They'll
quarantine.
quarantine you.
Yeah.
So they don't have these tests.
can't
Kids
go
are
home.
known carriers of the cooties.
No, you can't go home, sir.
No, listen,
Wow.
we got a tent,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
we got a little basketball court back. I got some tents ready. Because if Mr. tests positive, guess what?
Yeah.
You're going to Tent City.
That's right.
You know,
Tent City.
You're going to Tent City
Wow.
for 14 days.
Yikes.
Yep. 14
Yeah.
days.
Well,
Go ahead, Dre.
I think that's great that Cassandra brought that up as far as kids having the cooties. But let's just be honest. When kids have the cooties, all you have to do is cross your fingers and you can't get it. But right now, at this, right now we are in 2020, man, and this thing is much bigger than crossing your fingers and
Yes,
you can't
it
get
is.
it. I mean,
Yes, it is.
right now I'm headed to Long Beach with my family, man, and I just went to the Starbucks restroom and used the restroom, and I seen someone come in literally and use the restroom and walked right out and didn't
See
wash
what I'm
his hands.
saying?
So let's just be
See what I mean?
so let's just be
Contagion.
honest, man. A lot of people aren't going to take this as serious as they should, and a lot of people are still going to just not do what they're supposed to do, and they're going to kind of slack on on their job.
Yep.
And kind of like what Cassandra said, as far as when people come into the UFC and they're supposed to be washing these rings and things like that. Let's just be honest. You get a person who. Let's just be honest. You get a person who's working really, really hard, and he's working OT, and when ain't nobody looking, man, he's gonna find a way to slack. And so, if there is a piece of or a corner of the mat that he didn't get, he's not gonna go out of his way to go back and do that, man. And so, I think what we need to do, man, is we need to just start continuing to make these things aware to people, and let's not stop living, man. Let's
Please.
Exactly.
I mean.
Exactly.
I mean, we cannot be afraid to live, man.
No.
Yep.
And I know I'm in the presence of law enforcement, but I think it should be perfectly fine if you can jump and stomp somebody out if they are not washing their hands.
Hey.
So it's got to be some social policing going
Hey.
on too.
Hey.
You nasty,
Hey.
you're going to get some lumps.
Hey, not on duty.
Or if somebody sneeze in front of you,
You know?
sneeze on you, cough on you.
But
Put the blinders on.
I mean, but we might see some of that. We
See a
might.
lot of
Man.
it. See a
Might
lot
see
of it.
some
Because
folks
it-
catching hands over being nasty.
But these are things that should have been happening
Which will make it worse.
anyway.
right.
Which would make it worse because now you throwing hands, now you throwing fluid. And
I ain't saying I got a taser, but I'm saying that
Hey.
if you got a taser,
that's right.
you might be able.
Let's be honest, man. I mean, we deal with a lot of people from a lot of different countries and things like that. I mean, how many times have you sat in a chair at whether you're at a venue or whatever, and you get someone from another country where it's 50 million other seats available, and they come and sit right next to you, right? So let's just be honest. In a lot of these countries, man, different things are being practiced.
Ain't no social
what
distance.
may be right, but what may be normal to us here in the States may not be normal to somebody else. I mean, I've stood next to a person that was super musty, but over in their country, that is norm. You know what I'm saying? So
At 5 in the morning.
what can you do?
Probably from France. Because
Musty at 5 in the morning.
I put on the page. One
your face.
of my teammates in college, when I played college ball, was from France.
He was just
And
funky.
the dude, no, he was my roommate.
No, I'm saying he was just funky. He happened to be from France, but if he was from Las Vegas, he probably would have been funky too.
Yeah, well, but he just refused to take. We talking. I didn't leave the school after practice unless I took a shower at school. Like I took a shower at school. I didn't even want to take the mile drive home in my car being musty. I'm taking off helmet, shoulder pads. I'm sweaty, bro. Like wash your butt, bro.
Wash your butt and your
Well,
legs.
Whole
How about
baths.
that one basketball player that we all played against that was just super sweaty right
Sure.
before the tip-off?
Sure.
It's like, geez, man, I don't want to have to guard him in the paint.
Damn, Sherm. Damn, Sherm. He brought your condition up. Sweaty Loke. Oh my gosh, man.
You know, another thing about these combat sport athletes,
Man.
they don't get paid if they don't fight.
Yeah.
So if you're not feeling well, like, listen, there's athletes we see on the regular with staph infections, who were in there fighting with a staph infection
Yes.
because
That's the
they
worst.
made $12,000 for that fight. They already spent $6,000 off the rip because of their camp and paying people, paying to eat, paying for places to stay. So by the time you get there, you're fighting for 40%.
Peanuts.
And then Uncle Sam going to put his hand in your pocket after that.
Dana White should be ashamed of
So-
himself how them dudes are paid. But
But,
anyway,
that's a
I've
whole
mentioned it.
different show.
I've mentioned
right?
it. Yes,
But,
that's a
um,
different show.
a
Yeah,
whole
it's a different
different
show.
show,
No.
but
A whole show too.
it's a
Sure
whole,
is.
That's
a
a whole
whole
show.
ASS
So
show.
is.
And
So is.
but these
You guys
guys are
better
gonna
watch
fight
what you
like
say
that.
about Dana White.
I ain't
Better
saying
watch
nothing.
what you say about.
I ain't saying-
Well, you better watch what you say about it because you got Quan in the studio who can't wait to go tell him.
yeah. Listen, like
Run
I
tell
said,
that.
go run tell that. Go run tell
Run
that.
tell that.
Look, he ain't gonna make it to the parking lot. I told you I may or may not have a
Stun.
taser.
Oh,
May or not.
that's gonna be beautiful to watch. Well, no, I can't let you do that.
Buzz him.
Can't let you do that.
Just fun.
That's funny,
But
man.
a lot of these fighters are
buzz one of
going
these
to fight
cowboys.
ill, and that's why the test is so important. Most of them are coming from international locations. We
Sure.
had 2 fighters come from China.
Yeah.
They had to relocate 3 times
Unbelievable.
before they actually fought. And so China, Brazil, you got Dagestan, you got Costa Rica, you got Columbus, Ohio. They're coming from all over the place and then spreading things, not just the Rona, but they could be spreading all kinds of other things. And all this bodily fluid is everywhere in
right.
that arena.
That's right.
And did you hear the kid who got the autograph from
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert testing positive?
Testing positive. And then on the flip side of that, I heard some people and saw some people say, "Hey, that kid could have gave that to Rudy."
It's possible too.
Possible.
Right. Except for nobody in the family tested
Right,
positive.
right.
That's the
He
other
could have touched
thing.
something from
He
someone.
could.
Northern Utah
You can't
Jazz.
just
Yeah,
blame
Northern
Rudy
exactly.
Utah
Gobert.
Jazz players tested
Well,
positive. Either.
D. Mitch,
Just
right?
D. Mitch.
Him,
Yeah.
well, those
Just
two.
D-Mitch?
Yeah.
Right, those two. So I kind of think that it was
So if a
like
kid got
in
the
there.
autograph and got coronavirus, but Rudy Gobert is slamming up against Toronto Raptors,
Yeah.
and none of them
Well, he
got it.
wasn't like licking him, like
But he
he's
wasn't
not
licking the
Tyson
kid.
Fury.
He wasn't licking the
Right.
kid either.
Like,
he gave him an autograph.
Somebody
Okay.
So
should
my
have.
thing
Okay.
is, my thing is, if he was spreading it like that, he would have gave it
Yeah.
to the Raptors more than the little kid with the autograph.
Who
That
knows?
And before the
Yeah,
and
man.
before the virus really got
screw the media.
hot,
Yeah.
people
Screw the
still
media,
went
put it
on
back.
about their nasty ways of doing
Right.
things.
People are
Absolutely.
touching things
Yeah,
all
you know.
the time. You don't even realize it. Even
Right.
even with your knuckle, like after that, like you're on like this. So guess what?
Right.
It's on the palm of your hands.
Yep.
So we don't know. I wish we had one of those. That's another thing you should invent. Is that light? Like the blue light.
Yeah, the blue
We need a
when
light
you
to
can
see for
blood.
germs.
Yeah.
Like we
Crime
need a
scene stuff.
Rona light.
A Rona light.
I need a Rona light.
Boom.
Well, we're safe in here because I know Quan and wiped
Yeah.
everything.
Oh,
down.
it's Lysol down. I sprayed
Lysol
before I left the
down.
last time.
He ain't playing.
He ain't playing.
He ain't playing.
And I did. I sprayed the children's and myself. But I
Yeah.
bought a car this morning, and so we ain't been doing nothing but like
Yeah.
making sure everybody
right.
is cleaned up.
That's
'cause
right.
I can't.
Can't do it.
I got stuff to do. Mama can't be sick.
Absolutely
Right.
not. Absolutely not. Dre Bailey, man, what's good with you out there in old Cali, man? Long
doing?
Beach City, man.
LBC.
On my way to Long Beach, man, to celebrate my daughter's 18th
Yes,
birthday,
sir.
man. So, you know, I wouldn't
The
miss
real
I
cookie,
wouldn't miss
man.
that for
Congrats.
the world.
You still on the
Man,
highway?
The real cookie, man.
Yep, I'm actually still on the highway, man, and I just want to call and let you guys know that you guys are doing a great job, man. You guys are having a
Always,
great
buddy.
show, and Cassandra, man, you are more than welcome to come back anytime. It's like you're sitting
Absolutely.
there natural. You might as well take my
Thank you.
spot.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you. No, then I
No
can't
doubt.
watch if I'm sitting
There
here.
you go. There you go. Man, Dre, as always, man, handle your business out there, man. Tell Cookie we send all our love, man.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Happy
happy birthday,
birthday,
Cuzzo.
I understand. And get
And
back here
happy
safe,
born
bro.
day to Mama.
Yes, indeed.
You know,
man.
18 years ago, she gave birth to her baby girl. So congrats to Mama.
Yes, indeed.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what's up, man.
Very true.
Beautiful.
Very true.
Beautiful thing, man.
Very true.
Yes,
And
sir.
I put my body on the line
No, you didn't.
18 years ago.
No, you didn't.
with that COVID still available in order
Different
to create
strain.
God's gift.
There it is, man.
You a
There it
fool.
is,
All right, we'll
brother.
give you
You a
credit for that.
You
fool,
a
man.
fool.
Give you credit for that.
All love, Dre, man. Get back in here safe, Brody.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I'll talk to you guys later, man.
Yes,
Be
sir.
safe.
Right.
All love, man. Dre Bailey in the building
Dre
right there,
Bailey.
man. Dropping the gems. You understand me? But yeah, man. Dre brought up a good point, man, and some, that we all have been saying, since this whole thing, surfaced. Don't stop living, man. Like, do the things that you've been doing in your everyday journey as a human being, bro. Just like be sanitary. That's something you should have been doing in your everyday journey as a human being. Being sanitary, washing your hands, bro. Like
Right.
it's
Every
simple.
day.
If you
You,
can.
As a
y'all remember
human
that?
being.
Y'all remember that? This maybe a little hang up bulletin board material. Everything you need to know you learned in kindergarten,
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
and it's a list of
Yeah.
things.
There's not
in
much
life-
Elmo did not tell you that you still apply.
Wash your hands. I'm pretty sure was in the top 5.
It's a song.
You have to
It's
with
a
kids.
song.
It's a real
Wash
song.
your
You have to.
hands. It's a song.
With kids, you have to, man. I
Like,
wash
come
my hands
on,
probably-
man.
Wash my hands probably 30 times a day.
Easy.
Just easy, man.
Look, and
That's where I work
being in the line of work that I've been in for the last 15 years, I've been exposed, and I'm not shortchanging the coronavirus by any stretch, but I've been exposed to things far worse than this.
Yeah.
And if I told y'all what I was exposed to, you probably cry.
Oh no, I don't need to know.
Just imagine what it's like
Every day.
every single day.
Hey,
Every day for me. Every single day.
Come on, y'all.
I work for the city,
Yes.
and we have to deal with the homeless
Yes, you do.
every now and then. So we have to take precautions.
Yes,
Because I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, it's a lot.
it's tough.
Yeah, it's
They
a
tried
lot
to tell
out
us
there.
when we see a cart on the side of the road or in somewhere, we need to go through their things and put it on. I said, I'm not going through that
I'm
stuff.
not doing it. I'm not doing that.
I'm taking the whole cart. I don't care if
Not
they
doing
got
that.
everything they own in the world in there.
Not doing
Put
it.
it in the back of the truck and I'm driving off.
Not doing it.
Man, I gotta say, and we is too many people. We ain't got to
Yes.
take
We
nothing out
is
of
too
there.
many people.
I ain't taking
We
nothing
ain't
out
got
of
to
Yes,
there.
too
take
many
nothing
people.
up out of there.
Ain't got to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I will say this, that crisis is also a friend of innovation. And this may be time for some people to actually come up with ways to have multiple streams of revenue. I mean, especially
Absolutely.
folks at this table who are in the media and who are actually creating content right now. It's going to be a lot of, like, everything's canceled.
Yep.
You got tons of content right there. Go make your coins.
Go do it.
You know what? Like, I'm listening to rock. This is such a jam.
I
And
love
if,
it.
if the aura wasn't peeing on people, like, man,
Ugh.
like that catalog is still like gold.
The
You know what I
aura.
mean? Just like, and it's the one where like you close your eyes and you listen
Just
to certain
vibe,
music,
man.
just rock with it.
I
You
never
know?
knew a lot.
You know, this had Rakim on it, right?
Yeah, no, it's common.
A common.
It's
common.
common.
mix.
It's common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Common sense, man.
But I just
Chi-Town's
can't. I
finest.
can't rock with you.
Were you
just
in this
peeing
video
on
too?
people.
Whoa.
Just the Kanye.
Whoa.
See, you got.
She's in a Kanye video. I gotta let
I
everyone know
never
that.
should have told you. I got
I
to.
let
You know,
everybody know that.
always,
Which
I
one?
wasn't always a mama. So, you know, I wasn't. I have done some. I like eating hot food under a roof, and so when checks can get cashed, you know,
Sure.
Hey,
Hey,
Sometimes
that's
you
the
just
thing.
you
you
flick
know.
that light switch, you want that light to
You
come
know,
on right
like-
then.
And who did he sample?
The birds. Hummingbirds, right?
No,
No.
This sample?
No. This sample
This
is
sample.
this sample is
You got 5 seconds.
I'm
Yeah.
out. I ain't gonna even do
Yeah.
myself
Bobby
like that.
Caldwell.
Yes,
Yeah.
Bobby
I was gonna say I ain't gonna even do
Caldwell.
myself
Yes,
like
sir.
that.
Yes.
I don't
The
even do
light.
myself like
Yes.
Simon Cole. Now there's a Bobby Caldwell who sound like
Sound like
Sound like a
he
brother,
come to
right?
the barbecue.
That's the one.
That's
That's the
okay.
one.
I think it's
That's
That's
Bobby.
the sample
That's
right
Bobby.
there.
He is a kin of Quan, Bobby Caldwell.
Look at
Yep.
that.
Blue-eyed soul.
Look
Yeah,
at that,
man.
man.
Sound like it had a 3 on it though to me.
Hey, yo, we got another caller, man. We hot. Caller, you on live with LTBB, man. State your name and where you're from, please.
Hey, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
You're on live with LTBB.
Hey, what's
Mention-
going on? Hey, Steve-O and Chile. This is DJ Cold Cuts. What's
Oh,
up,
this
y'all?
cold cuts.
What's up
Cuts.
with you, bro?
Cold cut.
Cold cuts.
Cold cuts.
What's happening with
Used to
you,
be in the
man?
bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Back in the day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Or or as Brother Billy would normally call me, Pooter.
Cooter.
Yeah. Yeah. Pooter from
Pooter. Oh, Pooter.
from I can't think of the name of the movie now.
Cooley High.
Cooley High.
Yeah.
Cooley High.
Yeah.
Cooley
Yeah.
High. Yes,
Yesterday.
indeed, man. What's good
Yeah.
with you, though, man?
Hey, man, I'm just blessed to be here, man. Just
Absolutely.
want to chime in real quick, man. I know mostly Steve and Bill would know, you get to be our age.
Right.
You done been through some things, you know what
Sure.
I'm saying? So, all this talk about this virus, man, I was talking to my uncle this morning, man.
Mm-hmm.
He was just talking about all the stuff that used to go on when they was growing up, you know what I mean? And all the unsanitary things that were going on and, all the things people nowadays would never even consider doing.
Right.
And I talked to one of my homeboys from the old neighborhood, the States today. He said, man, all the water hoses that we drunk out of,
Man, look.
Man, come on, man.
man, all the popsicle sticks, some other people we raced down the street with sewage
Sure
water.
enough, man.
All the horny toads and lizards be
Yeah.
caught,
Yes,
and then we'd have our hands on all that stuff and still be eating a bag of
Snails.
Doritos while
Sure
we
would.
doing it.
Yeah.
Sure would. With
Yeah.
nacho cheese sauce on it.
Yeah, and
It's
my
soft.
thing is that these times, man, with the internet and the media, man, I just think it's pretty much overhyped. People may have their own opinion, but I'm definitely on the side of what Goose was talking about earlier, man. You got to live your life, man.
Got to, man.
You only got one life.
One.
There's nowhere in the world I'm going to be cooped up in my house
Negative.
staring at 45 cases of toilet paper that I may not ever even use.
Exactly.
It's
Because,
crazy.
and again, I think we all come from the same place. We all can say, you know what I mean? Hey, when it's your time, it's your time.
Period.
You can't run from it.
End of
You
discussion.
can't quarantine yourself from it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, man, I tell my kids all the time, man, hey, man, just keep living your life. My daughter called me this morning. I went by her house, come out. Did you sanitize? I said, girl, I've been sanitizing since day one.
Right.
And you know this.
For
That's why you ain't got nothing yet. Ain't brought no roach to your house.
55 of them things.
Before you was even born, I was sanitizing.
Right.
Absolutely, man.
As many times as Bill Logan been over to my house growing up, house smelled like Lysol.
The
and
Lysol
English all
and
the
man,
time.
look.
Mr. Clean.
The aromas
Mr. Clean.
and
Comet.
sandalwood.
And
That's what
comment.
Saturday. That's what Saturday,
Saturday,
early
right,
Saturday
sure
mornings was
Lysol,
for.
Yep.
Put
Pine
on
Sol.
some Aretha,
Yep.
some
Yes,
Earth, Wind, and
indeed.
Fire.
Come on now.
That's what you do.
That's what you did.
We couldn't watch cartoons till
know-
we was done. Till half the bottle was gone.
We was taught from an early age. Whenever you enter into the bathroom, I don't care what you doing. Then when you come out, them hands better be clean.
Every
Yeah,
time.
sure enough.
Better be clean.
Sure enough. My
Before
aunt
you
put
come to
bleach in the sink
before you
water.
come to the kitchen.
And my grandmama.
Before you come to the kitchen.
Yep.
You just sanitize and clean, man, and don't be no nasty, person.
That's
But
it.
Yeah.
again, I'm at the store this morning. There's a lady in the store. She got a face mask over her face, but her 2 or 3 year old son don't have nothing over his face.
So disrespectful.
Wow.
Just selfish.
Wow, you don't care about him?
Just selfish.
Maybe she's at risk. I don't know.
But at the end of the day, man, I know we all doing the right thing, man. You got to live your life, man, and just be blessed that every day you wake up. The Lord give you that privilege to say, "I'm gonna walk on this earth one more day."
That's right.
Sure
And you
enough.
got to, shit like it's you got to treat every day like it's your last day.
True.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, I feel bad for the kids. I'm, Bill and Steve. I've coached for years. Now I'm a high school rep, and all that stuff been cut off, and kids now sitting around with nothing to do.
Right.
So you know what that normally leads to, right?
Trouble.
Ooh-wee.
Mischievous stuff they shouldn't be getting into.
Yeah, they're gonna be at
At some
home eating all my
point.
food. Is what they're gonna be doing.
Hey,
Eating up the food, playing games.
That's
Hey,
it.
Cassandra.
They don't go outside like we used to.
No.
Yeah, they don't go
Oh, no.
outside like we
Oh,
used
no.
to.
Look, I lock the doors. I kick them out. You going outside to play, and when I unlock the door, that's when you can
That's
come
when
back
you can come
in.
in.
Like,
you know how we found out where everybody was? Where all the bikes in the yard was.
That's it.
That's how we found out where everybody was.
Period.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
right? Oh, they are everybody over here.
Hey,
Yeah.
That's how
and
we
you know-
found out.
And you know what? Them bikes wasn't chained up.
Nope.
Laying
Wasn't
right there in
worried
the
about
yard.
nobody taking them.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
All day.
Yep.
We
You know what I mean?
look. My mama
You can
made
stand
me
up.
go outside.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
I had to go outside.
Cassandra,
Yes.
Cassandra, I feel bad for you because I feel bad for you because I think me and Bill and Steve, our kids grown, so our food in the house.
Yeah, no, these
So you
little
got the crumb
ones, they
snatchers.
are
Matter of fact,
6 and 7.
Oh boy.
Matter of fact, today's my daughter's birthday, her
Yes,
31st.
indeed,
wow.
man.
So I'll be over her house eating some
Eat
of her
her
food.
food.
That's right.
Listen, I got a 13-year-old, almost 14-year-old stepson fitting to come for spring break, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, food about to
Growing
be
boy.
I got nothing but consumers
Yeah.
in this house. They don't do
All
nothing but
consumers.
consume, you
Yeah.
know?
The bread shelves was empty
It's
last
time.
night.
It's time for you to stock up, then, Cassandra.
Well,
'cause this
you know
needs to be
what?
your
Last night.
I'm
bread shelf.
resourceful. We make bread in the house.
That's a
so
beautiful thing right
I ain't
there.
got to go back out
That's
for
a beautiful
stuff.
thing
You know, I'm a
right there.
country girl. I grew
That's right.
stuff.
Man,
That's
it was crazy.
That's
I
it.
can understand the toilet paper somewhat. I can understand the water, but all the bread shelves was empty last
Gone.
night
Gone.
and today.
Mm-hmm.
I even went to
Yeah.
Mariana's.
People are stocking
See.
up and staying in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah.
Good enough. It's good enough.
Stocking up
Well, yeah,
and
man, I
staying
just want
in.
Bless you,
I just want to
brother.
chime in for a minute, man.
Absolutely.
Man, y'all stay blessed out there, man.
We
Bill
appreciate
Logan,
it.
you know, we
Cold
get at
cuts.
you, man, because I came to Doolittle Gym the other night. And you had left before I got there.
Yeah,
So,
man.
you know,
It's
Shoot him
quick
out.
in and quick out, bro.
Shoot him out. Shoot him out. Get him out there and
Yeah.
shoot him out.
Yeah.
I'm in there.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm in there working out. I'm in there working out with Chuck Porter and the fellas.
Oh,
you know,
Chucky
you had
P,
already left.
man.
Yeah.
Shout out Chucky P. He on the
Yeah.
live. He on the
Yeah.
live with us. Shout out Chuck P, man.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Well, man, we appreciate you, big homie.
Yes,
Big
sir.
time.
Steve, get to the gym with Steve one day, man. Steve, get to the gym with us, man.
Yes, indeed, man.
That ain't my
Man,
side
get
of
up under
town,
that arm.
Oh, now that ain't his side of town.
He said you got to come to him side.
Oh, my God.
Man,
Foolishness.
I don't care where you stay at in Vegas. Doolittle is always your side of
Your
town.
side of
I'm
town.
just joking.
Yeah, him
Come on, man.
just
Just
playing.
joking.
Him just playing.
I'm just joking.
You know, we
I
didn't
know
have
we
some,
would.
we didn't have plenty. We didn't have plenty games
Yeah,
in there
sure enough.
together and against each other.
Him
Look,
joking.
I'm bougie as they come, and I know where Doolittle
Come on
is.
now.
I've been
Yeah.
in Doolittle.
Come on now.
I'm just joking.
Everybody grew up in Doolittle.
Everybody knew the university, man.
That's right. Yes, indeed, man. Well, we
You couldn't
appreciate
make it.
you.
You wasn't
big homie.
nobody if
You
you
wasn't-
couldn't-
if you didn't play at
If you didn't
Doolittle,
play
who were
Doolittle,
you?
you-
We didn't know you.
Who were you?
Who are you
Exactly.
in life? We don't know you.
Exactly.
Is your name on the sign-in sheet, sir?
Exactly.
We don't know you.
Don't know. Where your mama
That's
stay
right.
at?
If
Where
your
your auntie
name ain't on
stay
that
at?
sheet,
If
bro.
your name ain't on the sheet, we don't know you.
Yeah.
What school you go to?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Green Valley?
Yeah.
Green Valley
It's a
had to
good-
come through
It's
Doolittle.
Green Valley had to come
interloper.
through
They had to
Doolittle.
come through Doolittle.
Had to.
Coronado got to come through Doolittle.
Everybody gotta come
Everybody
through
got to come through
Liberty got
Doolittle.
to come through.
Yes, indeed,
Everybody got to
man.
come through Doolittle.
Paseo, all of them.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, big homie, for chiming in, man. That's big, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed, man. We got another caller? Oh, man. Caller, you on live with LTBB. And state your name and where you're from, please.
Hey, it's not or Armando. It's Dre again, man.
Dre Bailey again.
Yeah.
Again.
Hey, so I wanted to give you guys fresh off the wire. So just so the listeners and everybody that is on the panel know that I own a funeral home near Las Vegas, Serenity Funeral Home.
Yep.
And what is fresh off the wire is that if someone is to pass away from this coronavirus, they are requesting that person get cremated. Ain't that about something?
Lord.
Wow.
I mean, it came straight through an email. And then also, if that person passes away from the coronavirus, they don't even want the coroner's office to go pick that body up. They want the funeral home to directly pick it up. They want to lessen
Their
the
chance.
exposure.
Wow.
So, with that being said, I know you mentioned earlier, Goose, about all of the bloodborne pathogens and deal with on a daily basis,
Yeah.
and so do I.
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, man, we all have to just be careful. And like I said before, man, don't stop living, and please keep this going. And I hope you guys will keep this going, just like my parents. Let's limit our kids have going to relatives or friends' houses so they won't bring back roaches back to your joint.
Right.
So I'm going to just let that be known. And I'm out, man. I love you guys, man.
Appreciate
All right,
it.
bro.
Love you, Brody.
So I
Be safe.
saw a guy in Italy, and he was asking for help because his sister was dead in the bed, and she'd been dead for days, and like you could see her, and they
That was
would
a
not
horrible
come
video.
and get
That was
her.
a horrible video.
Like they wouldn't
Yeah, I
treat
watched
her,
that.
and they wouldn't come and get her. So they let her die, and they want her to stay dead. I'm sure he's not the only case. I mean, people don't know, but it's like, listen, the medical community been dealing with dead folks, with infectious diseases
Years.
forever. Like, there's got to be a way to
But that
make
dude
sure
was an
doesn't
Italian
happen.
actor too, so I'm not saying I don't believe it, but I'm also
It's
not saying I
possible.
believe it.
You can see in his face.
It's
When I listen to it, I can hear it.
Yeah, he's
I-
an Italian
I don't
actor, like I
speak-
said.
I understand. But
I'm
could
not.
be a
I'm not saying it
method
wasn't, but
actor.
I'm just saying.
he's a hell of an
It could be
actor
a
if
ma-
he was
But
faking.
that's
He
not
was
the
faking
only
that.
story like
So is
that,
she.
though. There's actually, that's the first time I saw it, but
Yeah.
it wasn't the first time I heard it. Even I have a cousin right now in a hospital in upstate New York, right outside that cluster. They won't test her. She has all of the symptoms. They just said she's been hospitalized for 3 days now. And they're saying that there are still places not willing to test because they don't want the numbers to go up, which is bananas. I mean, that is like bad due to crazy. I mean, it's like, put a needle on the record. Like,
So
what are
when
you talking
everything
about?
goes back to
Yeah.
normal next month,
Mhm.
everybody gonna say, "Man, really?
We was tripping over
We
the
was
Rona.
tripping over the Rona."
But
We'll
it's-
see though.
I'm
Yeah.
okay
But
with
I'm-
better safe than sorry with
Sure.
some of these things.
Yeah, it's just
Some
like,
of it.
come on, man.
Once it warms up, it's gonna be a little
Well, just
different
it's like a
story.
flu season. I mean, there's certain viruses will not survive because of the changing weather.
Yeah.
Now we might have a similar conversation, if not even worse, come October.
Right.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
it's gonna
when
mutate
when
again.
it come back.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna mutate.
I mean, it's gonna be some X-Men viruses. It's gonna be a whole bunch of mutants
Jeez.
like coming out here.
Jeez.
You know, Wolverine.
Unbelievable.
It'll be
I'm
Storm.
I'm just of the mindset, like I said before, man. Like, take care of yourself. Do the things that you're supposed to do anyway. Like the panic is like beyond me. Like the panic is due to people not doing what they were supposed to do in the first place.
Got caught slacking on your pimping.
so
You got
were-
caught slipping.
So you wasn't clean. You weren't clean. So now you've heard all the things you need to do to
Yeah.
stay clean.
And now you
no, so you go buy everything. So you wasn't clean in the first
Yeah,
place.
You ain't got not one thing of hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
At all, not one.
Not one.
You ain't got no push soap in the house. Man, look, it's one at
mean-
every sink in my house,
And y'all got
and will
trying to tell
continue to be.
gallons of water. I mean, there
come
are
on,
things
man.
that you
It's
can do
ridiculous.
that are preventative. Drink water. Look into antioxidants like what is called probiotics.
Probiotics.
Improve your gut health. That's something
Yeah.
actually I'm gonna bring on
Acai
because I don't
berry
think
is
there's
good,
any
too.
probiotics in pizza. I'm pretty certain.
Cheese? Is cheese a
I
probiotic?
sprinkle probiotics on.
Wowzers.
Cheese,
Said he throw some-
peppers,
Something like
probiotics.
Said he throw a few acai berries
Game,
on that.
recognize game. You looking real unfamiliar right now with that one. You're not.
Oh,
But I
man.
mean, these are conversations. Like, so the elderberries was new to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 3 months ago, I started taking it. But like once you start sharing information, like, oh, hey, maybe I'll try that. You know,
I drink pomegranate juice.
The darker the
This
fruit,
is great.
the
There you
darker
go.
the fruit, the more.
Yeah, Logan knows
See?
all about the elderberries.
But I was
Whoa.
just saying,
Whoa.
we got
Whoa.
senior to my left, so like you was an elder.
Whoa.
You know.
Yeah, I do know about the elderberries.
Y'all foolish. Y'all foolish.
Look,
Yo.
man. Look. Let's get into the various leagues and how they've handled their particular organizations. Let's start with the NBA. How do we think Adam Silver did in this whole situation? Because mind you, we were going back and forth on the page during was it Dallas? Who was Dallas playing on ESPN? Because I was watching the start of the
Dallas
OKC
and
game.
Denver?
The OKC
Dallas and
Jazz
Denver.
game. It was Dallas Denver, right? I'm watching the start of the OKC and Utah game. And they were just like, you know what? We're done.
Stand around.
But while they kept the cameras rolling, right?
But,
And like the announcers were like they didn't know. It was I think it was the OKC announcers that were announcing that particular game on that Fox station I was watching. But they had no idea.
Well, I was reading about that particular game. First of all, I thought Silver handled it greatly because I think that was all he was waiting on.
Sure.
I think they had their plan in place, and all he was waiting on, and it's tough to say that's all what they should have did, but once he got a player positive, you have to suspend.
Sure.
But I mean, I'm against the NCAA really panicking and doing that because you can just play without people. But the bigger picture is
You can't play without people.
Yeah, you can.
You cannot play without people.
I shoot the gym by myself all the time.
People still got to play.
But
So those are
my
people.
tidbit on that.
But
EA Sports.
you push comes to shove, you can do a lot of things.
They said that. They said that all the NBA players should play like NBA 2K.
And see who wins.
Simulate.
Yeah, you just simulate.
Just simulate the rest of the season.
But they stream it live,
bet on that.
and everybody will watch it.
You can bet on
And
it.
you all control your own player.
You can have a fantasy league based
That
on
would be
it.
amazing.
I think what happened with the NCAAs, they couldn't figure out travel. Because there were too many puzzle pieces to put that whole thing together. They just could not.
Because
figure it
Seattle's
out.
a region, you're correct. Seattle's a region, and Seattle shut down everything
They would've
first.
shut it down.
They were the first ones.
They would have played at Key West.
They
They
shut
played at
down.
Key West Arena.
Yeah. Seattle's a region.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
city of Seattle, they shut
They
down
it down.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
'Cause it was 14 different sites.
Yeah.
For the NCAA tournament.
I mean,
Wow.
I don't have a problem with what all the leagues did.
Mhm.
You got to be precautious in this.
Yeah,
in this,
like Cassandra
in this
said,
matter.
it's better to reoveract.
until you get everything figured out or whatever, and go from there. So I don't have a problem with what.
Right.
I just don't like they're giving some of these institutions and concert events. They're giving 2 months and some 3 months that they're going to be out instead of taking it month by month.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I mean,
I think you
that's
should
the
take it a
cancel.
little.
That's what I liked about Adam Silver.
Yeah.
He said at least
30 days.
30
At least he
days.
said
We're
30
gonna,
days.
after 30 days, we're going to reevaluate.
We'll talk.
We're going
He's
to see.
an incredible commissioner,
He's
though.
really
I
good.
mean,
I
the
thought he
guy
did a
is
fantastic
good.
job.
He's brilliant.
good.
He did something that none of the other leagues did. He goes, let's test people.
Yeah.
Instead of, so now he's got empirical evidence on what is actually going on
Yeah.
in his league, and he can
Absolutely.
act accordingly.
Yes.
You got other leagues who's just like, I don't know, says something about where choo-choo go. Like, they don't know.
Yeah.
And they just threw something on the wall. But the NCAA, I think it came down to the travel. They just don't know. They had no way to kind of figure that
control it,
out
sure.
in the manner, in the time that they had to actually do it.
Yeah.
I think too, and switching to baseball and how they handle it,
25th, we're
they were
supposed to-
totally opposite of the wheel because their season hasn't even officially started yet. So it's easy to suspend spring training and say, hey, because they had actually moved the start of their season up a week. They moved it up to
Yeah.
the 26th of this month.
Yeah.
Just to, the season's 162 games already. It's already long.
Too damn long.
So way too long. So you're looking at playing well into October and in some cases November for the World Series. So Rob, Manfred didn't have a huge task on his hand by saying, you know what, let's suspend and we'll figure this out when it's time to travel back to your respective cities. We're gonna stay in our respective spring league states, Arizona, Florida, stay there, and then when it's time to travel, in the next couple of weeks, we'll figure that part out.
And real quick note on the NCAA, they didn't just cancel the Final Four; they canceled
It was multiple
all spring
conference tournaments,
all
the
spring sports.
and the spring
like
sports.
every sport
that's
in the spring is
Done.
canceled.
And they
So,
kick
so
people
even
out
high
of their
school-
dorm
me,
rooms.
why
Even high school.
why
Even high
would
school.
they jump the gun and cancel everything when
It's
we
tough,
don't even
man.
know what it's going to be like in 2 months? You're,
Well,
you're
they
assuming.
can cancel is just a word. They can
Well,
always
suspend is the right word.
But they
Yeah,
can also
suspend. Yes.
reverse like any of this at any time. But they kick the kids out of the dorm
Yeah.
too. And I mean, there's some parents who are like, damn, that $400 that we got to get
Yeah.
you behind home
Man.
for, like that stings.
That stings. It stings
You
a
know?
lot of
and then you don't want
to
to put them on a flight.
Nope.
Yeah.
And that cancellation in them schools is going to be a flu to some schools, with a cold to others.
Yeah.
Because the big schools, the Big Ten schools, ain't got no problem.
Right.
And you can
But-
get round trip flights right now for like $30, $40.
Yeah,
But
you
listen, the
wouldn't
problem
wanna go on a
is,
flight.
well,
I'll take that.
you can go on the flight,
Got all
but
three
the problem
seats.
is you go for a week somewhere, and then they do a travel ban. Guess where you're stuck?
Man,
Right where you at?
that's crazy. I
You gotta be careful.
A thrower of mine that I coached over at Spring Mountain High is over in Weber State right now. She's a freshman there, thrower, shot put discus, and her season done.
Yeah.
They were getting ready to start the indoor NCAA championship. She had made it in the shot put and the weight throw in the indoor, and they were about to start the outdoor because I was looking forward to her coming here to UNLV and competing. They had a meet here at UNLV. I was actually going to get to see her, and shut down.
Here's my
Done.
thing: if there's not going to be a virus, it takes a year to get a vaccine for the virus.
Yeah.
How are you saying you shutting everything down for a month, 2 months, or whatever?
I read
And
some
reevaluate.
verbiage. I read
You
some
still
verbiage that
have the virus.
that
Well,
the
they're trying
virus
not to
vaccine would be
spread it.
available at the beginning of next month.
I
I don't know
wouldn't
how
take
true
it.
that is.
Who's taking
I've heard a
first
year, but
generation?
trust that one.
antidotes?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But
That's
you
what-
understand what vaccines are. Vaccines are injecting you
virus.
with the actual virus,
Right.
for your body to develop
To develop.
the antibodies
So
against
it's
it.
gonna
Yeah.
be.
That is why I've never been a fan of the
I've
flu
never
virus.
been a fan.
and
Even at my
and somewhere
facility.
they're paying like $3,500 to get tested with like the vaccines or something like that.
I'm not.
That's not enough money.
Hex to
I'm
the
cool.
no, I would not. Like
Yeah.
the first
I'm
generation
cool.
of the vaccine.
Human guinea pig.
Right.
not
I mean,
gonna
but
do
that's
it.
what everybody is that takes the virus.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I'd rather do a sleep
that
study.
takes the vaccine. I've never, even at my facility, I have to
Put me to
sign
sleep.
documentation every year.
Yeah.
I have to sign documentation. They tried to force me one time,
No.
and I had to tell the lady,
No.
listen, that's the only door out of here. And you stand in front of it. I advise you to move because
Please.
you're not injecting me with anything.
Another interesting thing, they're saying the Olympics right now are still planned, so they haven't canceled the Olympics yet.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
I mean, it's in July, so it's still possible.
Yeah,
But-
end of July.
I want to ask you guys the question: with the NBA season maybe moving and the finals happening in July and maybe August,
with the Olympics.
what does that do with
Then,
USA basketball?
That's the
Oh,
thing.
it's-
I was wondering the exact same thing. You can't.
Well, other
send a
countries as
team.
well. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not just USA, but
Exactly.
it's just
Yeah.
like they're all stocked with
Yeah,
professionals.
they're all in the NBA now.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where
all of the
Luka
good
gonna
ones.
be at? you know?
Somebody made the comment of the Olympics should be moved to the U.S. because of we already having the facilities in all the cities to accommodate
planning
all
the
the
Olympics
sports.
is-
But at the same time,
that's the
That's-
logistics of that.
That's
a
why they give
nightmare.
it. That's why they give it
Because-
to them 8 years ahead of
You're
time.
right.
because at the same
Logistics,
time
yeah.
you bringing everything in now. Everything, every player, every country now is coming in to your deal, which I think that opens the door to something
I
different
think
too.
when you look at something like the basketball, they could suspend that because these are all professionals. It's not like they are going to the Olympics because like it's giving them an
Exactly.
opportunity
They
or
need
they
to
need
look.
the
Yeah,
money.
right.
Exactly.
They don't need the money.
Yeah.
They're all being paid. So I mean, there's some smaller countries, but like they're not going nowhere. You know what I mean? For real.
Angola,
Yeah,
Angola might win the
Angola-
gold.
come
Like-
take your beating
Angola
and go
They're not.
home.
Angola can
Yeah.
get the
They're
gold
not.
because they're
Unless
only
they-
playing.
Yeah.
Come take
New
your
Zealand.
beating and go home, like
Unless
Charles
they go,
told.
it's all amateur players, or
Exactly.
they don't play it at all.
Yeah.
I think New Zealand wins that. By the way, I think New Zealand beats Angola.
Probably.
Them Kiwis,
Yeah,
yeah,
a bit
man.
better.
Spread is 20.
So what are y'all watching? If you're not, if you know, because
Documentaries.
like you watching any sports stuff though?
Oh, NBA
I
finals.
watch- I'm watching
Which
all
one?
sports
I watch the
documentaries.
NFL Network to
Yeah.
try to keep up on what's coming. In a few days, the free agency. and
Free
stuff like
agency's
that.
coming up.
But
Ah.
Yeah,
I watched
other
the
than that,
All-Star game.
documentaries.
I
movies.
watched the NBA All-Star game, Thursday night? The one they just played.
Really?
Watched the fourth quarter again. It
The
was
Hateful
unmatched.
Eight.
Great game,
Hateful
man.
Eight.
Star Trek Picard.
Oh no, I'm not doing
Well,
that.
here's a
sir.
question. Here's a
Whoa.
question.
Yes,
you know how
sir.
everybody, banned R. Kelly's movie when he came out, found out about that? Is everybody going to ban Mr. Weinstein's movies?
You know what? We gonna get to
It
that
ain't gonna
soon
be
as
one.
we soon as we answer
ain't
this
gonna be
call.
I
one.
watched the Hateful Eight last night. I was like, should I be
Hey.
watching this?
Hey, we got a caller on. We gonna get to that, but we got a caller on. Caller, you on live with LTBB. State your name, where you from, please.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Big Les, man.
Big
What up,
Les
Les?
I knew
P,
it. I
man.
knew it.
Hub City's finest,
knew
man.
it.
What it is.
I can hear the chips in the
Hey,
background. Pork rinds in the
What's up,
background.
y'all?
What up with you, boy?
Yes, indeed, man.
Nothing
What's
much,
good with it,
man.
Brody?
What's up, brother? What's up, brother Bill?
What's
up,
going on,
Steven?
brother?
Yes, sir.
hello to Cassandra. I never seen her before, but hello to her.
Yes,
Hey.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
That's why you called.
We ain't judging.
I'm here to help.
No
Yeah, we ain't
judgment.
judging.
No judgment here.
Yeah.
Ain't no
No
judgment
judgment,
zone.
brother.
I'm
You's
here
a
to help.
man.
Just
Haven't
here to
heard
help.
from less
Look,
than 3
you's a
weeks on
man.
the show.
You's a man.
He's a man.
Yeah.
He's a man. He's a
I had to do
man.
it. I had to do it.
That's what it is, brother.
Yeah, man. I just had a quick question. I know y'all want to get to the next topic, but I think Quan said something earlier about the Rudy Gobert thing with the coronavirus and giving it to the kid or the kid giving it to him. Do y'all have any information on that? Like who transmitted it to who? Or
It was just some speculation. Some players actually came forward and it was like, hey, what if the kid gave it to him? Like we don't know.
We don't know.
If Rudy Gobert was the original carrier of this. We don't know that. Nobody knows.
That's a good point, but he was touching on stuff, acting like it was funny.
That was before he knew.
So yeah,
That was before he knew.
That was
well, no, he knew that you
Well, he
could
was-
spread it. He thought it was funny. It was he was making a mockery.
Well, he's trying to say,
of it.
I ain't got it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, he didn't know it was corona. But
Yeah.
my question in that is less. My question in that less is how is it just Donovan and Rudy?
Exactly.
How is it? And
The teammates are around each other.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just them two. So is it the same girl involved or something
around the
different?
whole team?
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking, Steven, was they're all involved with the same team, so they're around each other
Right.
every day at practice or flying on the plane together, and only two of them on the team tested positive, and nobody else tested positive as far as we know. Since they started testing those guys the other day when all this broke out. But like I said, Quan had brought up an interesting point when they talked about the autograph. I didn't even know about the autograph until I guess like maybe a day or two ago. And he brought up that interesting point. But then I think Cassandra had said something earlier where the kid's family hasn't tested positive. So he probably didn't have it prior to that. And he just came in contact with somebody who did.
We don't know. So was that little boy hanging around the same little girl that Rudy and Donovan was hanging around? Some,
don't know.
Because girls are known carriers of the cooties. Like known. It's like it's in the Bible.
Yeah, right.
Cassandra 316.
Yeah.
I see what you're
Cassandra
saying.
wept.
Oh no.
And,
For Cassandra
and,
so loved the world. No.
I wouldn't give up my own begotten.
And one last quick question. So the UFC was the last official sport to like cancel all this
They
events?
didn't cancel.
Or?
The state of
It's an
Nevada
event
canceled.
going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the state of Nevada
State of
said
Nevada.
you can't have
Oh,
no
they still
combat
fighting?
sports up in here. They fight right
It's a,
this
it's a
second,
UFC
man.
fight night going on. We watching
In
it
Brazil.
right now.
right now, live.
It's in Brazil.
Yeah, it's in Brazil. No,
Oh,
no,
shit,
no fans. No fans though.
Oh, I'm
But it's
I'm way
still
behind
carrying
then. I
on
thought-
though.
But think about like
Yeah.
the position that Dana White was in because he was going to make a grip
Yeah.
off of a
Huge.
pay-per-view. He
Yeah.
was going to do huge,
Gigantic.
big
Yeah.
old cassava melon numbers. But
Yeah.
he ain't doing
Most
nothing.
definitely.
That's why I've said since Thursday that these billionaires and multi-millionaires, something's about to get figured out.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
they
it-
can't lose.
And
Yeah,
you know Dana White and why the athletic commission is the one that stepped in is because the government gave him permission. His homie Donald Trump told him to go on with the show.
Right.
Trump
Oh, okay.
Trump's the one
Okay.
that
Yeah.
they're
But-
home. I mean they
partners.
talk.
They partners.
Yeah.
Yeah, they friend,
They
but
partners.
as soon as
They
he
make America great
declared the
again.
state of emergency, I mean, all bets are off
Yeah.
Right.
at this point. And then the governor, I mean, it makes if they could have tested these fighters,
Yeah.
it would still be a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't get the test.
Right.
Just can't get them.
Yeah.
Wow,
Ah,
it's tough, man.
It's time
Yeah.
for some action.
Tough one, man. But yeah, Brody.
All right, sounds good.
Hey,
Sounds
man, we
good.
appreciate
Well, like I
you,
said,
bro.
In
thanks
her
for taking my
red
call,
man voice.
Yeah, time for some action.
Reggie Noble. Reginald Noble. Boy, we used to blast that so hard.
bro.
Woo!
Yeah, y'all
Man.
going to have a great weekend, though, man.
Yes,
Thanks
All
for
right,
taking
you
my
too,
call.
bro.
Appreciate you, Les P. Compass
Y'all
Finance
just
right
be safe out there, man.
Yes,
Take care
sir.
of yourselves and your families, man.
there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's all we can do, bro.
That's all we can do.
Yes, indeed, man. We appreciate you, bro.
Are,
Hey,
his,
man.
are his hands damp?
Uh-oh.
That was that was kind of a quick
Dude, please.
that was a quick trip.
I know what this is.
I do.
That Quick trip.
Please.
No, man,
Wrong with you.
I'm gonna say what I said before, man. There's no need to run from something and you don't know where it is. Like it seems like we're running
This ain't Crystal
from
Lake.
something that we don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah.
Like Jamie Foxx said on What's Color, we don't know.
we don't know.
Gotta
Stop
deal with
Live in
it.
color.
from
We just
something
don't know.
where you don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Just live the way you've been living.
Well, maybe some people shouldn't. Some people should be
yeah.
better.
I'm talking to us that
Yeah.
that are sanitary.
And those who haven't been living like us,
Switch.
intensify.
switch.
So
Switch.
I drive for Lyft at night,
Mhm.
late at night. So I take people to
Various places. Yeah.
various places in Las Vegas. So I took somebody or picked up somebody from the Swingers Club.
No. Green Door?
The studios. Exactly.
I have no
There's a
idea
lot
what
more.
This is.
It's,
What?
it's
Green Door is the infamous, but I mean that's pretty
There's-
much all we know.
I had no idea until I started doing Uber and Lyft. There's like 5 or 6.
Yikes.
They
So
should have
it wasn't as busy because I guess they're scared of the coronavirus
yeah.
at a
That'd
sex
be a
club.
place.
Yeah, but you've been.
How
But
about
wait a minute, they go every other weekend.
Yeah, but hold on. You've been slinging
They
your
got
meats.
the HIV, they got the
hold on,
SIF,
hold
they
on.
got the
Time out. You've been slinging your meats
everywhere.
cold cuts.
Wow.
for
Like-
20 years.
It was kind of slow in there tonight.
No protection.
Wow.
Now you scared of the Rona?
Well, I think it's like, well, if you
I've
didn't
never
know,
met you before. Come here.
William,
Yeah, but if you didn't know before, but
William,
now
you
you know,
stupid.
because ignorance is bliss.
Big time.
Ignorance is bliss.
But you can't sling your meats like that.
I mean,
Cassandra, come on
You
now.
can.
William,
it's just not a good
William.
Sling
idea.
your meat.
William,
Don't
you
sling
stupid.
your meats like that.
William, you a fool.
Now you scared of
I'm-
the Rona.
We don't want coronavirus.
I'm just.
Come on, sis.
You,
AIDS is cool.
you're a complete
No
hypocrite.
coronavirus, though.
You're a complete hypocrite.
What?
Herpes
You've
all
been
over your
slinging your
mouth.
meat.
He said a complete.
Syphilis,
You're
we'll
a
deal with it.
complete hypocrite.
Simplex 10.
From head to toe.
Syphilis, we'll deal with it.
From the crown of your head to the tips of your toes, you're a
Man, you
complete
better quit.
hypocrite.
You-
And slinging your meat.
A complete.
Out here like Arby slinging your meats.
Like,
We got the
We
meats.
have the meats.
We got the meats
Oh my
with a dope
God.
beat too.
Slinging,
You're slinging your meats.
slinging your cold cuts.
Your coke.
Cold cuts. Where the DJ at? Put the needle on the record.
Man,
Slinging them
look.
chickens.
Look,
Throwing
but you scared of the
salami all
Rona.
over the place.
But you scared of the
Rona.
You scared of
Rona.
the Rona.
Look,
Stop it.
I've been a vegetarian for a long time.
Well,
No.
they weren't.
But, you know.
Right.
Wait, but you got to wash your veggies.
You gotta wash the
gotta
veggies.
wash the
You gotta
veggies.
wash
That'll
your
preach right
And you
there.
Cucumbers
gotta
and your
keep
eggplants.
your veggies in the fridge.
Yes, your
Yeah.
cucumbers and your eggplants need
Wash
to be
'em.
washed.
That'll preach
And
right
your
there.
fruit.
Yeah,
Wash
just put your
your
veggies
And
anywhere.
Wash your peaches.
And your berries.
Okay.
And your berries.
You know,
Yeah.
Wash them.
anything that's fuzzy, wash.
Even
Hey.
wash your meat. Even wash your meat.
Jeez.
We done
What
preaching
is
and going
we
to
talking
meddling.
about?
Yeah.
Hey, take it across
Hey,
all.
speaking of preaching, they're closing churches.
Closing churches. What's my man name in Houston?
And
Then shut his doors again.
Osteen?
That's twice. That's
Yeah,
twice.
they-
Hey, homie, that's
He
twice.
can collect
Stop.
money online, though.
That's twice, bros.
Yeah, he can collect money online.
Hey, bros. That's twice, bros.
3
Just
times
look.
and you're out.
But wait, the motto
twice,
is
bros.
if you scared,
Go
You
to
better
church.
go to church.
And now they can't even go to
what,
church.
I mean, what happened to being washed in the blood? Like, so, you know, yeah.
I'm washing the blood, so
You know, but you could watch.
I can wash it home in it.
You can
That's
watch it
twice,
at
bros.
home.
I can wash it in blood.
They
I cut
can
my
pass
car.
a virtual plate. You know, it's just that first Sunday after church meal.
Well,
Can't
you know
do that.
what the thing
Well,
is.
I know a church
there-
is open. Go to 3630 North Rancho Drive, number 109.
Mhm.
It's open tomorrow. So if you guys want to go to a church, go.
There it
Yeah,
is.
I know.
I understand the closed venue places canceling, but the open like baseball, you got open stadiums and stuff like that. I was a little shocked at that, but you know you can't separate and say all the
Right.
open venues gonna
Right.
be open.
Right.
But you know places
protecting
like
the
the outdoor
players.
sports, you know outdoor sports are actually safer than the indoor
Yeah.
sports in terms of
But this is my thing.
transmission of
You
This
still
is my
got to go to the
thing, bro.
bathrooms. You still
You-
deal
you
with
still
hot
gotta
dogs,
do it.
concession
Yeah.
stands.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
I'm
Dirty.
saying though,
I
like,
understand. Yeah, yeah.
did they
Hot
clo-
dogs
is,
is
is,
so
is,
nasty.
is Pier 39 closed down?
Oh God, this dude.
Is the pier closed down in San Francisco? Anybody
No.
hear that?
Mm-mm.
Is Pier 39 closed down?
Neither is Greenwich.
That's like you want to talk about a moneymaker.
Mm-hmm.
You think they gonna shut down Pier 39, bro?
Mm.
Probably not.
Probably
Probably
not.
not. But with baseball and these sports leagues, they're protecting the athletes. They don't care about
They
us.
don't care about the regular
They don't
folk.
care about us.
Well, no, they ain't protect even the athletes. They
Yeah.
they protecting lawsuits.
Yeah.
Sure.
That,
They could care less about the
yeah.
athletes as well. They
Yeah.
could care less. They couldn't care less about the athletes as well. It's
protecting-
lawsuits.
Well, and
They're
let's say,
protecting themselves.
Lawsuit.
and I want to talk to a lawyer about that. Not for myself, but those reporters that Rudy Gobert went and purposely touched all their microphones. What if one of them gets it?
Man, I can't. I mean, listen.
Roger Bailey, can you call in, please?
Could he
Please,
get,
Roger
can
Bailey.
he can he get
Roger
sued
Bailey,
for that? Can the
we
Jazz
need you.
get sued for that?
100% that league is going to
They
get sued.
they
if
could
we're
Tony
sue,
not
Murray,
about
we
it.
they
need
could
you.
sue 3 different entities right there. They could
100%.
sue the NBA. They could sue the
Well,
Jazz. They could sue Rudy.
At that point, you
Oh.
have to understand, as I've always said, it's airborne. Because if the reporter sitting 5 feet from the microphone gets infected from him touching the microphone, it's airborne. And,
Unless
and
they
that's what
touch
I've
the
said.
thing.
That's what I've said the whole time. They say it's droplet precautions when it's first started, but with the estimated, I think, 10 million people infected with this thing or some variation of it, they haven't all come in contact. So as viruses go, it has to be airborne.
It has to be airborne. That was my thought. I'm like,
But they're not saying that it is. They're trying
Yeah,
to.
it's
They
like-
keep ruling out that it is not airborne. I disagree.
gotta be all the above,
I
right?
disagree with all of it because
Especially when they say that they don't even really know what it is or where it came from. How can you
crazy.
say it's not something?
we get patients every day with unknown illnesses that get their skin cut open, everything. I see this every single day. And a lot of them come through the door. You don't know what it is because a lot of it is antibiotic resistant. And we had a patient the other day that they thought was. So, it's just
the unknown.
yes,
Yeah.
but the unknown is what's fueling all of the panic.
The panic
That's it.
and the hysteria.
Because
Yeah.
the media is pushing out the hysteria. It's more people surviving this thing than dying from it.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're not telling you that.
Nope.
They're not saying that.
It kind of reminds me, and we can go back 20 years with this thing, and I'm sure we had things in between, but of course the most infamous is 9/11. When the towers fell, everything we heard after that
Change.
was putting people into panic mode.
Yes.
Red alert, yellow alert. Oh, don't do
Yeah.
this past this. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, the ticker was born out of 9/11.
Boom.
Like, we didn't have that crawl going unless it was real breaking news.
Unless it was real.
But now it's 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. And I'm just like, come on, man. We're all human beings here. Not just America, but we're all human beings that dwell on this earth.
Yeah.
For you as media to create this hysteria like this, have people, basically running for their lives.
Yeah.
Like people are in the stores like it's over.
Like Chicken Little.
Since 2000,
The sky is falling.
since the year 2000, these fear-based agendas. There's plenty, all the way from 2000 to now. So it's
Y2K.
like,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
So it's like, okay.
that
So
was the worst.
what's really real? What's real?
We don't.
What's still deadly?
Cigars and that yak.
Yeah.
It's gonna
That's what's
always
real.
be real.
Cigars and
Yeah,
brown. Let's
VS.
go.
I wanna
smoke
Let's
me one
go.
when I leave
When
here.
I leave.
Yeah, I mean, you got
VSOP.
if you go
Yes.
down the line, Y2K was supposed to kill us.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be
Anthrax,
over.
Yeah.
West Nile virus,
Oh, God.
SARS, bird flu,
Man.
E. coli.
Oh man.
well, it got
Swine
some
flu.
of us.
Bird
It
box.
did get
Yeah.
some.
Yeah, it's gonna get some. Yeah, some people are gonna
but
die.
I'm saying that was like the
Yeah.
end all be all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Y2K was it.
Yes.
That was it.
and
was a
all
wrap.
of these
That's it.
and all of these had everybody on
edge.
on edge.
Buying water,
Can't do it.
buying ramen noodles.
Come on.
Come
It's
on,
also,
man.
it's not just information's out there. It's how people are consuming the
Sure.
information.
Yes.
So you weren't giving information to hysterical people in the past.
Yes.
It wasn't readily available. So it's just kind of how we've evolved in our
Well,
consumption.
social media is
Right.
way bigger than
And
it's
that
ever
sucks.
been.
The consumption has changed.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And that's really because it is the job of the media to provide information.
Well,
They're
even
doing their job.
ESPN, I watched it. I guess it was Thursday, and then I turned it back on Friday morning when I wake up. They're talking about the same exact things, but with way more panic in their
Right,
voice
right.
because
Yeah.
they're
That's
trying
what
to
I'm
keep
talking about.
viewers.
You
We
know-
have nothing to
Right.
talk
You
about.
know who the king
so
of
we have
panic
to
in their voices?
overdo
Great
everything.
The king of panic in their voices?
Jay,
Mike
Williams.
Greenberg.
Okay, Jay Williams is really bad. Mike
Jay-
Greenberg,
Mike
and that's why
Greenberg
they
is
kept
bad.
Greenberg on yesterday for 8 hours.
Yeah, because he's the
And
king
he's a
of
known
panic.
he's a known OCD guy.
Yeah, he's the king
That's,
of panic.
that's doing the most.
Man.
Yeah.
I had to
Great
finally
point,
turn it
Quan.
off. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
these
can't
guys
do
are
it.
You
I
can't
can't
watch
do
you
it.
can't-
Ridiculous.
because there's
I can't
nothing
do
else for them
There's
to watch. So
nothing
they're
else.
trying to keep the viewers there by
Sure.
overdoing the panic.
Absolutely.
And
It's like
Absolutely.
watching the Super Bowl pregame
Yeah.
from 9 in the
Yeah.
morning till kickoff. What?
yeah,
What?
what's there,
Now,
what's there to
now
What?
social distancing is a real thing.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Look, I got friends that I love and that love me, and I will never distance myself from them. How about that? Caller, you're on live with LTBV. State your name and where you're from, please.
Amen, Goose.
Hey, how you guys doing, man? Dave Little from Kansas City, Missouri.
Dave
What's
Little
going
in the
on?
building. What's good with it,
Kansas
bro?
City Mac.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, nothing much, man. How you guys doing, man?
Great.
Oh,
man.
great, man. No
Doing
problem.
fabulous.
No complaints.
Yeah, sorry I missed you guys when I came to Vegas, man.
Oh
you know,
man, you was out there handling your what's my man name? Bo Weber. Last name Pete Weber. Pete
Yeah.
Weber. You was on your
bowling,
Pete Weber
bowling,
thing.
bro.
Yeah.
You was on your Pete Weber
Pete
thing.
Weber.
Is that
Right,
the suck it
right.
guy? Who's the guy that said that
Weber.
noise? That is him?
Pete Weber.
Yeah, see, I told
That's
you. That's the
Petey
suck it
Weber.
guy. Yeah,
That's
from
Petey
St. Louis,
Weber.
though.
I'll
Isn't
be
he from
back.
St.
I'll
Louis?
be back in August.
Yes, indeed,
Okay.
man. We definitely gonna catch you
Kingpin.
with you. Oh, Kingpin Pete.
Hey, but,
you might be
but,
back in
what I wanna
August.
say-
Not if there's a travel ban.
Yeah,
We
we'll
hope.
see how it
We
goes.
hope, brother.
As a matter of fact, I read where the USBC done suspended bowling, for the
Wow.
time being, like everything else.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I want to say on this virus, man, I might have a different frame of mind because being at my 24 years in the military, man, I've been around the world, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've been a lot of countries.
Yep.
And I've been to some places that were really grimy,
Mm-hmm.
and they used to tell us, don't drink the water, watch what you eat and everything else. A lot of people over there are immune to a lot of things that they have in their own country.
Yep.
But we get sick off that stuff, you know what I
Right.
mean? But what we do,
Yep.
those same people come to the United States with their families.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you look at the United States, how it's made up, e pluribus unum, one out of many, they just bring everybody over here.
Mm.
And you come over here, and they start doing things, and they can start spreading stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, and like you go back to the Philadelphia situation back in 1918 when they had the Spanish flu. Look at all that.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to the bubonic plague.
Man.
They said they started with China with some fleas or something.
Right.
So,
Spanish flu killed
what I'm
millions.
saying is, the thing is, people basically are filthy. And you just got to wash your hands.
We're
You
animals.
got to take care of yourself.
That's it.
It's a big thing. And hopefully, the United States got everybody in the hysteria. Hopefully, they can watch their back. Hopefully, there ain't nothing, underlying plan going on.
Man.
I'm just saying,
We-
man.
we hope,
But I
bro.
mean,
Bruh, if you watch 24, I got 8 seasons of 24, man. And this, you can't look at everything the same. The way
It's
Jack
more
Bauer did
dastardly.
things, dude. It's a
Exactly.
all I can
Exactly.
see is a biological attack.
yeah. Being,
You there, Dave?
hey, you guys know I spent 24 years in the military, and I've been in a lot of different countries. We had to get shot up with a whole bunch of stuff before we
Yeah.
walked into these different places, man.
Good point.
Right.
And you got to deal with biological agents and all kind of
Yeah.
different things. So there's no telling what's going on out here.
Absolutely. Totally agree, man.
I just hate to see that, that it's coming down now and it's hitting the sports and they got people in a panic, man. It's just that, but like you said, Goose, everybody's got to live their life, man. Just go and
Absolutely.
live your life.
That's it,
Yeah.
man. Period.
And like I said,
So,
walk around here and act like you can't get it.
Man.
We all
exactly.
susceptible.
You know,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
one thing,
That's why.
when it's
that's why
your
you can't
time to
stop
go, you're gonna go, and you can't go around saying, "Hey, wait a minute, I got something I got to do right now."
player.
When
it's not a death
sentence.
sentence.
It's your time to go. It's your time to go.
My thing is, it's not a death sentence.
No, it's not. It's not a death sentence. No.
It's not, man. It's
No.
not. It's not. Live your life, man.
Yeah.
Like
Live
Boney,
your
man.
life. Take care of yourself,
That's
man.
right.
You know.
Simple and plain.
So they
man.
suspended bowling?
No, it isn't. It isn't.
So they suspended. You said they suspended the bowling.
I went to the gym this morning and it was nobody in there. LVAC.
Wow, that's different.
Wow.
That's different.
Wow.
They start coming a little later as I was leaving, but man, I was like, wow.
Usually by 6, 7 o'clock.
4
LVAC
o'clock.
back.
I was there at like 4:02.
Okay, well,
4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
But no, it's usually people in there.
Yeah, people there.
Yeah. I got
Wow.
you. I got you.
Wow.
Hey, but I want to hold you up, man. I just want to, spread my little spill on this, man. And you
appreciate
guys
you,
doing fantastic show. I share it with quite a few people.
Thank you so much,
man.
man.
And hopefully they listen. And I know Dre is out.
Yeah.
But got a young lady sitting in there, Cassandra.
Holding it down.
Yes,
Holding it down, too.
Young lady.
Young lady, she says.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a wonderful
holding
thing.
it down.
Holding it down, too.
Holding it down.
Yes,
Getting
indeed,
it in.
man. Yes, indeed.
But
Well,
you
we
guys
appreciate
do
you,
good.
man.
Goose, Dre,
Thank you, bro.
Steven, Bill Blockham, Logan. You guys do a fantastic job, man. And keep doing your thing, man.
Thank
keep
you,
doing
sir.
your thing.
That's
Spreading the
word.
word,
Thank you so much,
man.
bro.
Thank you, sir.
Spreading the word, and you guys are very, you got a lot of information going on. And Quan, you too. I can't forget you, man.
Love, man. Love.
He put up the
love,
West
bro.
Coast. He put up the
Yes,
West
sir.
Coast
Fill
on
up the dubs.
Yeah.
We
Kansas
appreciate
City
you,
Mac.
Dave. Big time, bro.
Yeah.
Make
Huge,
off the
man.
clutch.
And hopefully one more thing, if I do get to come out there in August, I done paid for it already.
Hey, we got to have you.
I'll
We
be
got to
out
have
there
you at
on
the
a-
desk. Got to
I'll
have
be
you.
out there on a Tuesday. I don't bowl to that Wednesday, so I'm coming
Okay.
out on that Tuesday.
Perfect.
So,
Right
Come
here.
through, set a
But I'll
spell.
keep you informed. I'll keep you guys informed, man.
Please.
Wait, you
All
said
right,
he's
bro.
calling from St. Louis or from
Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
So,
The other side.
Kansas City.
Gotcha. I was going to ask you if you had a
I'm
St.
originally-
Paul. You had a St. Paul
No.
this week? All right.
Huh?
I was
No,
asking,
no.
like, if you
Hey,
if you're from the St. Louis side of Missouri, then you would know what a St. Paul is, but you're not.
No, I ain't over that side. I'm over there. No. I'm on the other side of the state. Hey, Cassandra, I'm
Yes,
really from New Jersey. I'm a big time Knicks fan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Giants fan.
I'm
so-
sorry.
Giants.
Well, I can rock with
that's
you
all
on the
right.
Giants.
That's all right.
You know, with this postponement of Major League Baseball, like as a Yankee fan, I'm cool because it gives us a little time for Judge to
Man.
heal
To
up,
heal
for
up.
Paxton to heal up
Paxton
too.
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Paxton is the one actually I'm most
Yeah.
concerned about, but yeah.
For real.
Well, Cassandra, I'm a Mets fan
I'm
too.
sorry.
So.
I do
City
like y'all.
Field.
I like y'all colors.
Thank
It's
you
a
very
nice.
much.
It's a nice ballpark.
It's a great ballpark. City
Yeah,
Field.
it is.
Say something nice
Yeah, the
about somebody.
pinstripes don't make
I
us look
your
like we in
colors.
jail or something.
She was trying to say something nice. They're a nice ballpark.
It's not a rivalry.
The
Why
parking
would I be
spaces are
mad?
wide.
It's not. It's not a rivalry at all, man. Well, we appreciate you calling
All
up,
right, man.
Dave, man.
You
Big
guys
time,
take
bro.
care, man.
All right, bro.
Holiday.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
All right, man.
Shout
Guys,
out Dave.
take care.
Yeah, me and
Be
Dre
safe
got
out there. Be
we
safe
have
out
a
there.
bet.
Yeah, y'all got a
I
bet.
know.
that's,
And it needs to be
this.
fulfilled.
That's guess that this time off is getting his players time to heal, and
Yeah.
get right.
And neither one of them gonna wind up in the World Series again.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy.
Lord.
We know. Well, we know the
buddy.
Giants aren't.
We
Oh,
know.
buddy.
This we know.
We got more of a chance than
But
y'all.
we ain't-
Hey,
we-
listen,
we-
if the NBA's out 2 more months, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving might be playing in the playoffs.
Wow. Interesting.
Playoffs.
And they're in the playoffs already. The Nets are already in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're
they got
number
a, they got
7.
a spot. Wow.
So
No, I think there should be a rule. If you ain't playing,
Right. You ain't played all
you
season.
ain't played 90% of the
Gonna bring you
season. You're
back
not
for the
going to
playoffs.
come limping back in.
Gonna
for the
bring you back
playoffs.
for the offs
Bucks
now.
versus a fully staffed Nets.
But listen, the Bucks benefit a lot from this.
Oh, they benefit
Oh, yeah,
huge.
because
Giannis
Giannis
benefit
was
huge.
out a
Healthy.
couple weeks at
Yeah,
least.
at least.
I don't even see
And I
the
thought the Lakers was
Sixers-
gonna catch them.
I don't
They were the
even
best
see
record.
the, I
I
don't
thought
even
they
see
would've
the
too.
Sixers benefiting from this because they still can't
they'll still
shoot
suck.
whether Ben Simmons comes back or not.
If
still
they-
can't
Nothing
shoot the
changes
basketball.
there.
Nothing
If they
changes
come
there.
back and it's Larry Brown instead of Brett Brown, then
Yeah,
maybe.
it's- yeah.
Possibly.
Their biggest horse is still outside of the 3-point line.
and they still
And I
can't
tell
shoot,
you-
even
I
if it
tell
was
you-
Larry Brown.
and
you
I
just
would
gave
tell you to
LeBron
the-
a little month off.
That's what
I would tell you to the
It's
end
load
of the
management
season.
I was talking about.
Load management.
That's what the load
I would-
AD
management
got
I
some
was
load
looking
management.
for.
Caruso
Listen,
got some load
Caruso, yeah,
management.
because he was banged up.
You know who else does? DeMarcus Cousins. But they can't sign
I
him
don't
right
think we
now.
can't sign him
It's
back.
too
The
late.
Can't
Playoff.
sign
No,
him
he
back.
won't be on the playoff roster.
Nah,
I mean, I
he
keep
wouldn't be
telling
able
you,
to.
as long as Joel Embiid plays outside the paint,
Yeah.
they wouldn't beat Bishop Gorman.
Well, they
Yikes.
might. They might.
Yikes. That's
They,
tough.
Bishop Gorman take him in overtime.
Jeez.
Telling you.
Mr. Gorman
That
just
he
won the
is
state title, man. Give him some credit.
Embiid is the reason they cannot play right
Gorman
because
just won a state title, man.
he-
Give him some credit, Steve.
Man, whatever. I'm Rancho, dude.
But they still, I
We
mean,
ain't
it's
never
a
liked
point
Gorman.
similar to what OKC
Never.
had to do
Like
with
Weston.
Russ. Is like they're going to have to get rid of one of these dudes to make a run.
Yeah.
Like I love Russell Westbrook, but you're not winning a
Can't.
chip with
You
that
can't.
dude.
With
You're
that
just
midget
not.
ball.
gonna happen.
That midget
Well,
ball.
I mean, even if he's on
James
another
Harden's never
team,
win this shit.
he can't be Russ
Can't.
on any other team. You're going to have to be another iteration
And
of
he
a
can't
baller.
do that.
He can't
And
do it.
But he can't
do
do
it.
what you're talking
His,
He
about.
can't do
his
it.
inability
mentally-
to shoot
Right, he
the
can't do
long
it.
Right,
ball
you
on
make
a
a great
regular
point.
basis prevents that.
Yeah.
Well, he just cannot be that, that 110 mile per hour guy.
do it.
He can't do it any other way. And that's cool, but you're never going to win a championship
So they,
doing that.
when
He
they
had
were
a great
winning,
3
A
weeks
when they
coach
were-
would have to sit him down.
He had
Yeah,
a great
when they
3
were
weeks
winning,
though.
They were saying that the best thing for his game is to get Capella out of there so he can attack the basket.
He was gonna do that
He's
anyway.
gonna
That
But,
didn't
but my
matter.
thing is, the last week before
He did it
they
with Steven
suspended
Adams.
play, he was attacking the
3
basket,
weeks.
but they were
He did it with
losing.
Steven Adams,
3
though.
weeks.
He did it with Steven
For
Adams.
3 weeks he was balling.
Yeah,
But he
His
did,
numbers
but
were
hold on.
losing.
His
He did
numbers
this
for 3
exact
weeks, he
same
was
thing
killing
with
it.
Steven
Yeah.
Adams, and Steven Adams is far slower than Clint Capella.
But Steven Adams and Capella play different positions of the center position.
But I'm saying
Did-
you're
did-
talking big dudes clogging up the middle regardless, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're going to need
Adams
a
was
coach.
more of I'm gonna step out the way, let
Sure.
you run, and then
Sure.
and then
Right.
jump in.
Sure.
Capella's more of I'm
He's
running in
going-
there for the alley oop no matter where the ball's
right.
at.
Like he was far better at the
He's
pick
going
and
to
roll.
let it bounce. But so when it comes to Russ winning a championship, the coach is going to make a difference. I could see him actually being coached under Doc Rivers. Not that many other coaches, because you're going to have to really tell him what his role is and have him respect that role.
Good
and
luck.
there's not that many coaches that could do it, and he won't.
Oh, he's
but
he's
you
a
know,
former MVP of the league.
No,
right?
you're not
I mean,
gonna
it's
change
all,
anything.
you're
He
not.
changed his
That's why he's
mindset.
I
not
need to
going to
do what?
it.
He
That
do what?
sucks.
No, get me out of here.
It depends. Like maybe last year of his career, maybe he might be like, you know what? Let's see what we got in
Yeah,
these
when he's on
knees.
one
Let's
leg.
see.
Man,
Yeah.
with both
Right.
knees shot.
Let's see what we got in these knees. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll
definitely.
develop a jumper then.
When both knees shot, he'll be
Shoot.
more apt to listen and conform. But like Bill said, I personally think his mental makeup at this point now,
that catch.
he
It's just not
cannot
there.
break through that wall to do that. No,
Can't.
I can't do that.
And the funny
do
thing
that.
is, I love this dude as a player.
Yeah.
Like I really
Yeah.
love his attack mentality.
Yeah.
But bro, in the team concept, you cannot do what you do, sir.
There's no iron team.
Look how long Melo sat out until he was mentally able to conform
Sure.
to everything. Now he rebounded the basketball.
Yes.
He had 17 rebounds.
It only took him
Other game.
16 years.
and what, sit out a year and a half? He was
Man.
out, you know. Yeah.
Russ got the skills that could lead a corporation. He don't have the skills that could lead a team.
Boom.
It's
Interesting.
a whole
Boom.
he's gonna make a
Interesting.
crap load of money outside of
Boom.
basketball.
Interesting.
And
As long as he dress a little different.
Well, that ain't gonna change,
you
Steve.
got the little
Gilligan
baby
Islands-
shorts on.
The
That's not
Gilligan
gonna-
Islands
that's not
t-shirts
gonna-
and all that
that's
stuff,
big homie,
man. Come
big
on,
homie,
man.
big homie. It ain't gonna switch up.
You're right.
He
Same
is-
mentality, huh?
He is who we thought he was.
He is
Same.
who we thought he
Oh,
was. It's not gonna switch up.
you want to crown him? Go ahead and crown him then.
I just want to say real quick, I got a cousin in Ohio who's watching, and today's her birthday.
Oh, word up.
Happy birthday, cousin Charlene. I ain't
Hey,
seen you in a minute.
Charlene.
You know
Charlene.
Come on home
Charlene.
to
He
me.
said, I got a note the other day.
Charlene.
Woke up this morning to a letter that she
Man,
wrote.
a letter that she wrote.
She writes you the letter.
Yes, indeed. Oh my.
She writes you the letter. She gone.
Come on,
Oh, it's a
Aunt.
rap. Oh, if it's a rap, she writes
She
a letter.
been thinking about the letter.
Oh
man.
yeah, it's a done deal. Yeah.
She know I love this
Leave it
old
on that
music
dresser
thing.
too. Ooh, it's a
She know I
done
love this
deal.
old music thing.
Yes, sir. Yes,
See,
sir.
we're about to start listening to music again.
Yeah, man.
Girl, look here. That Charlene come on.
Man.
I'm about to step outside.
I saw Anthony
Again,
Hamilton at the
Quan, he gonna
Charlotte
step
airport.
outside again.
True
Oh, really?
story. He was
cat.
just sitting like amongst the people waiting on a
Yeah.
commercial flight.
Dude.
Nobody approached him. Nobody knew who he was. So we get off of our flight into Charlotte. I'm with Adrian Hunt. Shout out Adrian. Adrian noticed him first. Just went up to him. He stood up, dapped us all up. Hey, man, love, showing love. Like, it was all
Man,
good.
Watch the Tiny Desk
Crazy.
concert.
Oh, man.
Watch Tiny
Oh,
Desk.
man.
And he say, hey, when we get done singing, we all gonna hit this E&J.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna hit this Irk and Jerk.
Yes, sir.
After we done singing, everybody getting a
Love
shot of this
right
Irk
there.
and Jerk.
Yes, indeed.
That's a good dude, man.
That's what's up
Yeah.
right there, man. Well, this was
I
a
didn't
dope
know.
show.
I didn't know. Anthony Hamilton knew. What was his name? The big dope dealer back in the day.
Freeway Rick?
Rick
No,
no, not
'Cause-
Rick. You
no,
talking
he was
about
in the movie.
Big Meech?
He was in the movie. He was
Oh,
in
you talking
American
about
Gangster.
yeah,
he was in
Frank Lucas?
Frank Lucas.
Yeah, I didn't know he didn't know Frank Lucas.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Hey, right, he probably
But he had,
do.
now
No, he was in the movie.
He was
I'm
in the
making a
movie.
joke.
He was in the
I'm
movie.
making a
This
joke.
guy.
My bad.
He was
Yeah.
in the movie. He sang in the movie.
Yeah,
Good
he
part
sang
in
in
the
the
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, this guy.
Anthony Hamilton.
Yeah.
You know I'm hungry
How
now,
old is he?
Quan.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
about
always
to eat.
hungry. I'm sitting
about
at
to
this
eat.
table.
Yeah, it's time to eat. It really is,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
But we appreciate everybody for chiming in today, man. It was, we didn't have as much, sports news
Yes.
to talk about. There's a lot going on in the NFL. A couple of moves. Hunter
Hopefully
Henry.
they'll sign Dak.
Yeah,
Hunter
we'll see.
Henry.
Hunter Henry got extended
Yes.
1 year, $11 million.
Before time.
Yeah, absolutely.
They was smart with that.
NFL
They
free
was
agency
smart.
starts
Makes sense.
on the 16th.
Maybe.
The Tom maybe. So the Tom Brady saga continues.
So to extend Hunter
ridiculous.
Henry before time,
Mhm.
what does that tell you? Who might be coming through the door because he needs a tight end?
No.
No, G.
Who needs a
Hunter
tight
Henry
end?
can barely stay healthy, bro.
Who needs a tight end?
It wasn't no.
Tom
It wasn't no.
Brady
It wasn't
need
no
a
tight
tight
ends.
end.
Hunter Henry
out there.
can't
So
stay
they had-
healthy.
The Chargers had to do that, bro.
I understand.
They
Hey,
had
shout out
do
to my
that.
boy Tim Sodario who told me at work that we had nothing to talk about because all the sports was canceled.
Man, plenty of it, bro.
Now,
Plenty.
Timmy, Bengals fan, get some.
Oh, there's his problem.
He
Yes.
never had nothing to talk about.
Who they?
Yeah.
Yeah, Timmy.
And you know what? There's so much sports history to talk about. You can
plenty.
do
Exactly.
Like you can, man. we
There's
can
so
make-
much to talk about.
I
for
tell him
Tons
every
of
day
shows
how
off of
much
this
he.
stuff, man.
I tell him every
I
day
did
how
a
much he
little. I did a
don't
little
know.
bit on the page.
Come on, baby.
Exactly.
And that was just with
Rebels.
Vegas. That was just with
There you go.
Vegas. We can do this, man. This
Come
is not a
on.
problem to people that do this. Stop it. Maybe you couldn't come up with a show about sports, but we can.
And that was going to be one of the questions I posed. What are you doing, all of us at the desk,
yeah.
at this time where there's nothing, no sports on?
Look, I had a
Treadmill, man.
Look, I had a tea party with my daughter. The
Oh,
other day.
hey.
Oh, sweet.
Did you have the
Full-blown.
pinky up?
Yeah, had to have the
Got
pinky
to have
up.
the
pinky
Full
up.
blown tea party, man.
Yeah, it is.
Nothing wrong with that.
I had a TP party.
Whoa,
Mm.
this guy.
You know what? What happened with your colon is your business. Boy,
What happened in your small intestine, sir?
yeah. It's giving me a time to I was so behind on content, so I got a ton of stuff. I'm writing a
yes.
book,
Beautiful.
getting that done.
Yes.
But I watched Hagler Hearns one last night. There's a whole bunch of
so
combat
much stuff
content.
to watch.
Like,
Come on,
Best
guys.
3 rounds of boxing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
I
there's
mean,
so much stuff.
I was
to
watching
do.
some of the old football lives
Yeah.
today.
Yes.
There's
I mean,
tons of stuff.
it's some things.
There's tons of
Y'all
stuff
way
to
back.
do
Old
and
NBA
watch, man.
Y'all
Old
way
NBA
back.
Sports related.
games.
Now,
I'm
this was
watching
20
Star
years
Trek.
ago, right? When it wasn't like YouTube and the internet.
Yeah.
Shoot, I guess we could read.
I keep up on my Dallas Cowboy news.
And again,
Yeah,
okay,
they
sure.
said actually to avoid the coronavirus, just wear a Cowboys jersey. You
Yeah.
can't catch anything.
You can't catch nothing.
Yeah.
Ooh, this fresh off the
You
wire.
can catch some cases though,
Oh,
Whoa, wowzers.
if you're a cowboy.
Just going in on your bill. Just
I'm just saying,
laying
listen,
it on.
You know, we're
piling
just
it
speaking
on.
truth.
Just-
Is it a lie?
I'm all like this.
Oh man.
The NBA
Look, I'm
to
a Giants
continue
fan.
to pay
Come on now.
players, guys. They will
Nice.
continue to pay the players because we know it was a
Oh, there's
Doomsday.
the doomsday thing was happening. It was talked about.
That's what
But
happens when you got
the
a
NBA
strong
will continue.
CBA though.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
but there's a clause in there with the doomsday, so they're bypassing that, saying even if that happens,
Right.
then we're good.
Yeah, and it says National Basketball Players Association sent memo to agents saying they fully expect players will continue to get paid during suspended season. It's according to Shams.
Which means Silver's really thinking in 30 days.
In 30
Yes,
days.
that's what
we
he's
gonna
thinking.
be
Yeah.
back rolling.
In
That's
30
what he's
days.
thinking.
Now, in 90 days,
We back.
players, we need to holler at
Yeah.
y'all.
We're going to need to holler at you.
Shout
need
out
to
to the
holler at y'all.
MGM in Las Vegas for laying off people all the time.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Right
they-
away.
they've been
Any
do-
excuse
But
they
they've been
get.
doing this before the
Any
coronavirus.
excuse
So we
they
ain't
can
gonna,
get.
Yeah.
yeah, we ain't going to. We
They
ain't gonna
had
sweat 'em.
four. They had 4 huge. My brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law, works for MGM Properties, and he said they had 4 huge little conventions that canceled. That really
canceled
hurt
out.
them. Amazon.
Ooh,
and
that
a
definitely hurt.
A few of them really hurt
Amazon
them.
definitely
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, forget the other ones. Amazon
Twitter
hurt.
pulled out.
Well,
on
they could
the
just sue the shooting victims
It
again.
hut.
They could just sue them again.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Say like old Otis. Hut. Bullets. Hut.
I ain't messing with this dude right now. Man. I'm not doing it, man.
That's what I've been. I'm watching Martin too, man.
Oh man, so funny. Oh,
Old Otis say, "I can tell you, bullets hot."
Any last parting comments, words? We want to thank Miss.
What's
Cassandra
going on
Passano
with
for coming
AB?
on, man. Oh yeah, arrested again.
Talk about that on Tuesday.
Arrested again.
Yeah.
Arrested again. Weirdo in Miami. DUI.
Yeah. It's almost
Like,
worth not talking.
It's not even
about.
worth talking about, bro.
No.
Like
Yeah,
it's
he needs to be
just-
under house arrest.
like we
right
know
now.
who he
Yes.
is, so it's like not even
He
worth
needs
talking about, bro.
quarantine.
Yeah,
Yeah, he needs to be
He
quarantined.
need to be quarantined.
Yes. Yes. He needs to be separated from himself.
And they
In
about to
that
do
Chinese hotel?
Put AB in one room and put Antonio Brown in another room. And like,
that. He
y'all
about
need
to be
like-
separated.
So they can
and
talk through the
sing,
vents.
sing.
Yeah, just stop.
Exchange information through the vents.
He about to be on solitary confinement. He keep on
Unbelievable.
at his rate.
Unbelievable.
Handful.
Yeah.
All right, wipe your mics and headphones down before you guys leave. And you scared?
Go to church.
Rudy Gobert.
Go to church.
Hey man, we
Rudy.
appreciate everybody chiming in, man. Our distinguished guests, as always,
Yes.
man. Bill Blockham, Logan,
Yes.
Stephen Senior, and the lovely Miss Cassandra
Thank
Cassano,
you.
aka
Hey,
the
just
Sportsnista
y'all
in
get
the
at me
building.
at the
Yes,
underscore
please.
Sportsnista,
Yes.
mostly on Instagram, but also co-host a combat sports show right,
Right
here
here.
on Gorilla Cross
I
called
had the
Levels.
fortunate pleasure of being a part of that show, and it's excellent, man.
I was
Levels,
part of that show
baby.
last week, though.
Levels,
We're on-
baby.
TR knockouts.
We're on- oh yeah, we had the top ring knockouts.
Ooh.
We're on 6:15ish on Thursdays. Me and Jeremy Long. So catch me
Shout
on the
out Jeremy,
show.
man.
But I'll be out in these streets too.
Yes, indeed,
There you
man.
go. Get at me
and
through my
always
DMs.
wearing red on fight night.
Always red on fight night.
Always red on fight
Always
night,
red on
man.
fight. If you check out my Instagram at these Sports Nista,
Yeah.
you will see.
Yeah,
it.
you will see
Fool
it.
here. Holler at me in my DMs.
Holla, get at me through my DMs.
You can holler at me
And
at
on
my
that note-
DDs, direct deposits.
Hey,
I'm about
holler at me at them
to-
CAs, that Cash App.
We're getting
Venmo.
and on
Zelle?
Monday's show of Unnamed
Zelle.
Sports Show, we're giving away free toilet paper rolls to the winning caller. So call
I
in.
like that. I like that. Up the ante and go baby wipes, bro.
Oh,
There we are.
You can't
Yeah,
flush baby
man.
wipes though.
There we
What?
go.
I flush them all the time.
Flush them all the time.
Oh, okay.
Not
What?
Not Huggies or Pampers wipes,
No, you-
but
The
Like-
ones for adults.
yeah, adult wipes. Yes.
I'm gone.
Wash your butt better.
Boy,
Wash your
man.
I ain't got it.
He's different. He's different,
Yeah,
guys.
I know. Just give me the 4-ply.